Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Man, your timing was impeccable.
It's rare, I know, but here we are.
I was like right on time. It's a good thing too, because from my end, I can already tell it's going to be a good show, Jack. I went to unmute myself as I always do when I get ready to go live, and left the studio instead.
Oh yeah, that'll happen. I've done that.
Buttons are on the complete opposite end of the toolbar for that.
Well, sometimes your finger just wants to see what's over that way.
Man, how you doing, Jack?
I've had much better days.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Mom, I'm glad you've had better days, but that tends to indicate you've had a bad day. So I apologize.
Very long, very irritating day. It's not getting any better, but I'm hoping it will now that I'm on the show.
I can almost promise you that because we're gonna have fun tonight.
Oh, good. How are you?
What? Let's start with the Sinema story, shall we? Because this is the one that I was gonna base the show on tonight until we had the drop of the new Twitter files. So it's a much shorter story. There's not a lot to talk about, except old donkey girl's upset. For those of you who didn't see it, Kirsten Sinema from Arizona, she's a senator. She switched her party affiliation from Democrat to Independent.
Dun, dun, dun.
And our favorite New York-based donkey said that people deserve more.
Wait, you mean the lady that's under investigation for ethics problems?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Now, we should talk about this for a moment because Kirsten Sinema came out and she said she's going to still caucus with the Democrats. She's still going to be voting with them most of the time. She expects to have all of her same committee assignments that are given out by the Democrats, that they decide you go on this one.
Uh-huh.
So literally nothing is changing except for instead of a D, she's given up the D so she can have some I.
Oh, no, this is giving up the D in an effort to get reelected.
This is giving up the D so that she can maybe not get fucked in 2024. That's what this is all about.
This is a political version of No Nut November.
Yes, it is. It is. This way she can be like, look, I left them 2 years ago, even though she's going to be exactly the same as she's always been.
Yep.
Rick says, I don't trust her. You shouldn't trust her.
Oh, hell no.
She's a dirty politician who was openly commie for a while. I mean, people forget that part of her past. I highly recommend Razor Fist video, Don't Simp for Sinema, I think is the name of it. Don't quote me on that. I linked it on my cousin's Twitter earlier today. Check it out if you want a good backstory on this horrible whore. She's a dirty she's a political whore is what she is, and she is just trying to get ahead of 2024 to be able to say, no, I'm not. There was polls done, Jack, in not that kind.
Oh,
Maricopa County out there. They were asking people who you voted for, and Sinema got like the lowest score. Even among Democrats, like, who would you vote for? And they're like, not that bitch. So she's trying to basically pulling a Bernie kind of. Bernie actually did it a little different. Bernie lost an election. That's when he decided he was an independent. He ran as a Democrat, lost the election, and they're like, I'm independent, and won that election and has just claimed independence ever since. Even though he always caucuses with the Democrats and always goes along with them in whatever they do. He's a Democrat. But this way he can go, no, I'm not either party. I'm independent. How? Show me anything you've done that shows your independence. You even bent over
independent a lot on her on the loop.
Well, yeah, there's that, I suppose. I don't need to see that though. I mean, I guess it depends on which Sinema it is.
Oh yeah.
Whether she's been eating the salads or the tube steak that election cycle.
Well, if you do it right, it'll be both.
I was going to make that sound, but I can never remember how to do it because you taught me one night on stream how to do that.
Yeah.
And
Just go.
I can't just do it on command.
Not
I
with
gotta
that
practice.
attitude.
I gotta practice, man. Practice makes perfect.
It's true. It does.
So anyway, Donkey Girl's mad about this. Cortez is criticizing Arizona Senator Kirsten Sinema after she announced her decision to leave the Democratic Party and register as an independent on Friday. Now, the one thing I did see that Sinema said is that she won't go to the caucus meetings, which
So
I'm kind of with her on this. She gets all of the benefits without having to go to meetings.
Yeah, that sounds like it was just like planned out. Like, okay, how can I get reelected? Well, you could go independent. And some interns like, and then you don't have to go to the meetings. Okay, we're done. That you convinced me.
In the news story that I read, it also mentioned that she'd already been skipping the meetings anyway.
See?
So literally
laziness.
nothing's changing.
Yeah, weak.
Sinema announced the decision in an Arizona Republic op-ed published on Friday, criticizing America's two-party system. Americans are told that we have only two choices, Democrat or Republican, and that we must subscribe wholesale to policy views that parties hold, views that have been pulled further and further toward the extremes. See, this is a fucking political ad.
Yeah.
Most Arizonans believe this is a false choice, and when I ran for the House and Senate, I promised Arizonans something different. And after being elected to the House and the Senate, now I'm going to be different.
Yeah, see, she promised food lines at first.
Yes,
and then the pandemic hit, and she got those. So now she's trying something new and different.
In response, Ocasio-Cortez says that Sinema... I shouldn't have done that in that stereotypical Spanish sounding voice, should I? Let me do it like she would do it if she was public speaking. In response, Ocasio-Cortez, said that Sinema doesn't offer a single concrete value or policy she believes in. Am I wrong about how she do it in public? Come on. We've seen her do that shit.
Yeah, you have to put your hands up so that your elbows are at shoulder length and then your fingers are pointing down toward your stomach.
I didn't do the clapping either because she likes to do the clapping when she's talking. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, that's so annoying.
No, it's bueno. Yeah, my bad, Woody. My bad. She lays out no goals for Arizona, no vision, no commitments, Ocasio-Cortez said. It's no healthcare, just vibes for Senate. Why are you taking shots at her?
Something to do, I guess.
I mean, look, there's a good chance, depending on who the Republicans put up, there's a good chance that Sinema loses her seat. Oh, she is wildly unpopular.
Yeah.
And part of that is the Democrats doing. They've been dogging her out for the last year, her and Manchin, like they're the ones keeping things from getting done. Republicans already hate her, so all you've done is piss off your own base. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's obviously an attempt to rebrand. It might work. People don't pay much attention, unfortunately.
It's not Sandy from the hood. It's Sandy from the block. Don't forget that. You never dealt with Sandy from the block before.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with Sandy from the hood.
Word. Ain't never seen. She's so hood. She's never even seen a garbage disposal till she got into Congress.
Yeah, she's tough like Jennifer Lawrence and enough.
Oh my God. Just got here. I could only make it 25 minutes into that debate before I wanted to drop kick that idiot. So Jack, last night, somebody said that the debate with Hunter was too heated. And I was like, no. If you want to see heated debate, go watch Vegan Gains.
Yeah.
And so Darth Mondo was watching the Vegan Gains debate earlier.
Oh, dude.
I told you it was nothing but screaming. It was a lot of fun.
Get to the part where he said he'd eat retards.
I hope so. That's my favorite part of that debate, man.
Yeah, I know.
I'd rather eat a retard than a cow. Wow. I mean, hey, at least he was honest about it.
It's a bold stance. I'll give him that.
It is. Yeah. He held on to his vegan beliefs because I don't know how that makes it vegan.
Well, our retards are really people.
Cybertaz, how you doing, man? I was in AP's chat last night and I saw some of the shit going on there. Hope you're dealing with all that shit well, my friend. Yeah, it's same old, same old. You know what's it all about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that other fucking retard. Alan, thank you so much. He says, hello, monkey. Hello. Yeah, AP was just ripping that dude to shreds.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, there's so much drama going on there. I don't understand it. Like, there's
No,
nothing
me neither.
there. Calm down.
But yeah, it was funny watching AP just go off. It was funny as shit. But that is entirely beside the point, guys. Go watch AP stream if you want more about what's going on there. I just don't want to talk about it here because I don't want to spread that nonsense.
Yeah. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Cybertest. Adam Schiff is trying to give up the D. We all know he takes it up the A.
There you go. There you go.
And thank you, Alan, who says, hello, Jack. Hello, Alan. How you doing, man? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Sorry, my system's running a little wonky, so I'm having a little trouble keeping everything up and organized here.
By the way, we did get a lot of nice comments about Sang last night. I'm glad you guys enjoyed her. Check out her stuff. And it is a little bit of a content warning. You are going to see a lot of Christian stuff. So if you're not in on that, skip those videos and go to the other ones. It's good content over there.
Yeah, how'd yesterday go? Because I had to miss it, unfortunately.
Pretty good. Daxie was available and he jumped in.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, so we also got to go over Twitter Files Part 2, which I hadn't even realized had dropped at that point. So if you guys are interested in Part 2, it didn't get its own thumbnail the way that Part 1 and Part 3 have. But we talk about it maybe the last half of last night's show.
Now, I haven't had a chance to watch it because of everything I had to do today.
Oh, sure.
But what were her thoughts on our conversation with Hunter Avalone?
She thinks he's an idiot, and that's a dumb hill to die on.
Yeah, that's about right.
And that he doesn't do any of his research. He just takes a blurb. The kind of stuff anybody who's paid any attention to that retard would say about him almost immediately.
Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. Yeah. I watched
Yeah.
her videos on it in prep, and then of course I ended up not being there. But yeah, she seemed like she was pretty nice, so I was kind of curious how it went.
No, my favorite part of the conversation was her kitty cat. Her cat was fucking around in the background, and at one point he tried to jump in a window, and so all you see is his little butt hanging below a curtain. It was so cute, and him trying to get up and then just falling down. It was adorable. Cats are always going to win. You know I like cats. Anyway,
yeah.
Jack. Today I was not expecting this. With the gap between the first and the second Twitter file, I was expecting at least another day.
Nope.
And I was getting ready for the show and stuff, and I was listening to Razor. He's over there playing Splinter Cell Conviction right now. And they mentioned Twitter Files 3, and I went, oh, what? Oh my. So I ran over quickly to see. And then I saw how long it was. I've only read about half of it right now, Jack, because we're just going to do it on the show. That's called content, baby.
Yeah. Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. If I remember correctly from Razor Fist, the Republican institutions in Arizona were completely obliterated by McCain. Sounds right. So they had to rebuild from scratch. So if Sinema won in that environment, I can only imagine how she'd lose as a Dem next election.
Well, Sinema's trying to play the McCain game. It's what she's doing. And she knows that part of the McCain game was being Republican. He would go there, he would run as a Republican, a moderate Republican, but hey, I'm a Republican. We're going to close the borders. We're going to get rid of the illegals. And then he'd get into Congress and act differently. But that was part of his platform. He was the centrist. He was the maverick. And she's trying to do that from the Democrat side. But she can't do that because she doesn't have any maverick credentials.
I'm a maverick. I reach across the aisle.
Yeah, I reach across the aisle and sniff kids. But
capitulate.
Yeah, exactly. I bend over across the aisle. She's trying to do that same thing. I don't think it's going to work. We're still two years away from the election, so we'll see. But that's all this is. This is just her trying to move closer to the right so that she can claim, look, I'm a maverick, you guys. I'm John McCain with a vagina. But I repeat myself.
But no, she could put her arms all the way up. Too soon?
Virus says, reminder, don't make Razor Fist tap the no simping for Sinema sign. Yeah, look, he pulls that out sometimes when it's unnecessary. I don't simp for Sinema, but if she does something that stops the Biden agenda, I will cheer her on for doing it. Even if I know she's doing it for the wrong reason, she's getting it stopped. Good, because Republicans aren't.
Yeah.
So I don't simp for her. I think she's a dirty whore politician. And when I say whore politician, I don't say that because she's a woman, Jack. I mean, I believe she'd do anything to stay in power like most of those little shitbags would.
Yeah.
They're all whores.
I don't think you should do that simply because it's redundant.
Yeah, fair. But it's fun to call them whores. It
really is.
And it's accurate.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So, I mean, I always try to be accurate on the show, Jack.
I know. Before we go into this really hardcore, can I point out something that really annoyed me? It's completely off topic, but it really pissed me off.
Okay, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I had to switch my internet and I forgot to tell you before I did it.
Oh. Yeah, but before we get too far into the Twitter files, can I go over something that really pissed me off? It's completely tangential and off topic, but it pissed me off really bad.
Absolutely can, but let me get this first. S Cybertaz, thank you so much. Who says, thank you both. Will either of you do a video or live stream about my own little cow? Then I start rewriting. Oh my good God. Addressida. Yeah, thank you. Addressia's pamphlet. I've heard you say that name. I've heard AP say it. I've never read it before.
Yeah, Addressia.
Addressia. Thank you.
Yeah. No, he the person you're talking about used to be in our chat. And
yes.
Yeah, I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, nope.
No offense, dude, but yeah, I have enough problems. I don't need to bring others in.
No, I love you, dude, but that's not something and to be honest with you, I don't want to spread what that guy's been saying.
Yeah, because that's what's going to come up. And let's face it, there's a lot of stupid people out there that a simple accusation's enough to ruin you.
Yep. So, and by the way, hi everybody over on Rumble, and those of you here on YouTube's, and those watching around the world and tomorrow, hit that like button or the equivalent wherever you happen to be. All right, Jack, what were you going to bring up?
All right, so I was working on videos, and I noticed this as soon as my computer will fucking work. So this is part of the cover of Daredevil issue 3, legacy number 651.
Okay,
so this is just the upper corner.
Yep.
Right? Perfectly fine. It tells you where the original numbering is. That's the legacy number and the new number, right?
Yep.
Now let's go over to issue 4. Oh, what's this? 653? Where'd 652 go? It's issue 4.
Maybe.
Issue 3.
Maybe it's like Lion King, and somewhere there's a 3.5.
It's in the penumbra.
It's in the penumbra.
Suppose. This drove me up a fucking wall because issue 6 came out and they're still doing this error. So 654, 655, they've skipped a number and nobody caught it for 4 months.
Huh. Well, I mean, I've seen the state of comics. That's probably the least offensive thing I've seen lately.
To me, this is egregious because this is right up there with when they misspelled calendar on the 2014 calendar book. It's the laziest thing ever. Oh, Jim, you might be onto something. Maybe they decided 652 was too good and they locked it away.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I read that wrong. Cyber said, will either do. I said, will either of you. I apologize. Cyber, thank you so much for the donation and the clarification. I meant I will do a video or live stream myself. Fair enough. And I will probably watch it because, I like drama, but yeah, I'm so sorry that kind of shit happened there, man. All right, dude. It be time. The first Twitter file, first one, I did nothing real dramatic in there. You know what I mean? It just kind of confirmed a couple of things we saw. Did you see the part two over there on Barry Weiss's thing, Jack?
Yeah, I saw part 2 and I was reading part 3 when you sent me the link.
In part two, which we read yesterday, it goes over how they were getting rid of people or trying real hard. And if they couldn't, then they would just shadow ban them. But they didn't call it shadow banning, so it wasn't shadow banning. I wish that was made up, but that is their excuse. They called it something that was the initials are VF. That's all I remember. But they didn't, since they don't call it shadow banning, it's not actually shadow banning, you dumb bastards. Sure. And one of my favorite parts of it was specifically them talking about libs at TikTok, where they're like, she didn't actually violate anything, but she indirectly broke policy. Like what? Visibility filtering. Thank you, Net. That's what they call it. Visibility filtering. Shadow banning.
It sounds very dystopian.
It's
Like-
shadow banning, but they were like, no, we don't do that. So see, we didn't do it.
That's like when Stalin photoshopped that guy out of the picture.
Sure.
The visibility filtering. We just erase people from existence. Oh, no. We didn't put them on trains and send them to camp. We visibly filtered them.
We visibly filtered them. Hang on. I want to get my screens all set up so I can see both chats. I just can't see you now, Jack. So
That's all right.
Hopefully that doesn't turn into be that doesn't turn out to be a problem.
I'm just a stick man.
The only problem is my mute button's over here.
You don't need that.
I'm just me coughing in people's ears. All right. So here it is,
There's
guys.
a joke in there, I'm not gonna say.
Matt Tabby, whatever his name is. He gets part 3. The beginning of this just lays out some background and what's going to be coming soon with the rest of the Twitter files. We'll have a drop. Hopefully in the next 2 days, we'll have 2 drops. One from somebody I'm unfamiliar with, and then one with Barry Weiss. That's what they say is scheduled. I should probably just read it for you. Thread, the Twitter files, the removal of Donald Trump. Part 1 of the removal of Donald Trump, Jack. Ooh, yes. Part 1, October 2020 through January 6th. Matt Teb. I'm going to call him Matt Tab. I will say his last name however the hell I want to. It's how I identify, damn it.
I was calling him Matt Tabebe because then it sounds like Bebe's kids.
Bebe's kids. The world knows much of the story of what happened between riots at the Capitol on January 6th and the removal of President Donald Trump from Twitter on January 8th. We will show you what hasn't been revealed. The erosion of standards within the company in months before January 6th, decisions by high-ranking executives to violate their own policies, and more against the backdrop of ongoing documented interaction with federal agencies. That sounds like glowies, Jack.
Well, I mean, it's not a conspiracy theory if it's true. Then it's just conspiracy fact.
Yeah, it's almost like Data was right.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. Thank you, Cybertest. Twitter file sounds like an ex-employee who had bad touch people that they suspended. Yeah, he's like, oh, you have Twitter? Can I touch it? Can I touch your Twitter? I want to like your tweets.
Eagle says, what? Yeah, the feds were directly, we'll get to it, but they were directly communicating. Remember Yoel Roth? He keeps coming up over and over in these things.
Yeah, that dude's weird.
The JJ gets a lot of deserved criticism, but it's sounding more and more, and maybe we'll find out later that she was more involved, but it's sounding more and more like Yoel had most of the discretion here. Anyway, the first installment covers the period between the election through January 6th. Tomorrow, somebody will deal with the chaos inside Twitter on January 7th. On Sunday, Barry Weiss will reveal the secret internal communications from the key date of January 8th. Like they got a plan laid out, yeah. And I'm guessing that the last two have come as quickly as they have because they got rid of that Jim Baker prick who was hiding shit.
Yeah.
Homer's Odyssey, thank you so very much. Says back to the beginning. Glad to hear you live. I'm glad to hear I'm alive too. That's not what he said. Live, not alive. It's just funnier my way.
No, fair enough.
Yeah. The JJ gets deserved criticism. Look, Tailfin, that is always true. The JJ, whether you're talking about the woman that used to work for Twitter or vagina, there's stuff to criticize there. It makes men insane and women insane, actually, at least once a month. All right. Whatever your opinion on the decision to remove Trump that day, the internal communications at Twitter between January 6th and January 8th have clear historical import. I would agree with that. Even Twitter's employees understood in the moment it was a landmark moment in the annals of speech. Says, one thing I don't like about this one is they have blocked out a lot of the names. I want to know who was saying this shit.
Yeah, I do too. That's starting to really annoy me.
Thank you, S. Cybertaz again. Matt, Riki, Tiki, Tiabi, hunting Twitter cobras. That sounds like a children's book.
Yeah, Ricky Tikki Tavi.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
It's spelled slightly different. You did what?
I'm not familiar.
Wow.
My parents didn't love me. They didn't read to me. They would just throw boiling liquids at me all day long.
I don't think I believe that, but
It's entirely not true.
no, I figured you made that up. But real quick, thank you, Homer's 420 Odyssey, for that generous donation. Glad to hear you live, Jack. Oh, thanks, man. Glad to have you here to listen. We appreciate all our listeners.
And here's the comment that Tiabi was just talking about. Is this the first sitting head of state to ever be suspended? Isn't that a weird thing to be asking about the president of the United States when the Ayatollah is still on here?
Yeah.
Should that be a question based on the president of the United States instead of, starting with the leader of such a corrupt regime as Iran?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of despots on here. Plus, like Antifa, Al Qaeda, Taliban, probably some Congolese warlords or Boko Haram.
Now, I'm not going to be reading all of the pictures.
What?
I don't know how to do this because
what?
the screenshots.
Oh, okay. You said pictures.
They are screenshots or pictures.
I'm gonna read pictures with my fingers like Daredevil.
Look, it's not my fault that is an accurate sentence.
Was it?
Yes. Is a screenshot a picture?
Yeah, it's an image.
A picture. Okay. Are you visibility filtering over there?
Yes, I am.
Jesus, he's been on Twitter too long, you guys.
You gonna stop me, you bigot?
No. I don't want to be kicked off. No, the point I was going to make is a lot of times, and I saw this in the last time he did this, Matt here will tell us exactly what is said in the picture that he's showing. And there's actually a time in here where he does it twice with the same picture. So I'm really not sure if I want to read all of the screenshots. Is that better?
Yeah.
Cause a little less confusion over there.
Yeah. I mean, I was typing and I heard you say I'm going to read pictures. I'm like, is he fucking with me? Does he know?
You can read pictures. Thank you, S. Cybertaz. Riki Tiki Tabby was a story written by Rudyard. Is that how you say his name? Kipling.
Rudyard Kipling.
Rudyard Kipling. I fucked up his last name. That's the easy one to say. It was about a mongoose in India who hunted down cobras who had a vendetta against an Indian family. They had a cartoon movie and everything. Yeah, I've never heard of that shit.
I have both read the story and seen the movie.
I was, my parents' visibility filtered that from me.
Oh. Just as a heads up, Rudyard Kipling is one of the most boring to read people.
Isn't he the dude who did Jungle Book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was based off a real person.
Tarzan, I know.
No, yes. No, it was a small Indian kid that was raised in the wild, and he was just a feral child.
Hey, Tarzan.
Yes, like Tarzan, but not as cool.
All right. Where are we? I promise you guys we have stuff to talk about here today, but whether we get to it, it's a crapshoot because me and Jack haven't been together for more than 24 hours and we get a little antsy.
We're like this all the time. What are you talking about?
I'm trying to give us an excuse.
There's no excuse.
How dare you? What the hell were we doing? Oh,
Oh no.
as soon as they finished banning Trump, Twitter execs started processing new power. They prepared to ban future presidents and White Houses, perhaps even Joe Biden. The new administration, says one exec, will not be suspended by Twitter unless absolutely necessary. And see, this is a Twitter executive. I don't understand why they were making it so we can't see it. I'm guessing because of the claims of harassment and death threats against people who have shown up in these things, that they're doing it for that. Or my other guess, Jack, is that it's people who still work for the company.
Yeah. I would say it's probably the second one, or there's some sort of lawyer involvement here where they're like, all right, don't release that because we're probably going to be getting sued anyway, and we need to make sure we can sue these people or something. I don't know.
Anonymous Gamer asks who this Matt Taibbi guy is and what is his connection to Twitter. Matt is a former mainstream media reporter who went rogue. He started a Substack instead. And his connection to Twitter is just that he's on there, and somehow he got to be chosen as one of the people to share the Twitter files.
I think Musk was going for kind of a bipartisan approach, and Taibbi's kind of a lefty, but he did some wrong thing and got a little slap from the mainstream. So maybe he knows Musk somehow.
By the way, when my screen flashes like that, sorry guys, I really should hold the window instead of the screen. You're not going to see anything dirty. It's just my background picture, which is my shuttle taking off. Jack.
Well, that's the difference between your background and mine.
Well, my background is sometimes seen by people. Anyway, let's see. As stated in our rules and policy, ban evasion, blah, blah, blah. If it is clear that another account is being used for the purposes of evading a ban, it is also subject to suspension. For government accounts such as POTUS and at White House, we will not suspend those accounts, but will take action to limit their use. However, these accounts will be transitioned over to the new administration in due course and will not be suspended by Twitter unless absolutely necessary to alleviate real-world harm.
I'm so tired of that fucking phrase. Real world harm. Oh, grow up. Oh, somebody said something mean to me. My baby.
Well, as we're going to see, a lot of their policy and decision making around this, that's what it's based on. How are people going to react? Not whether or not it violates any rule.
Well, it doesn't, and they know that because it's just words.
Yeah, it's going to be based on, hey, did this upset somebody? There's
Somebody's
a tweet.
Feelings get hurt.
There's a tweet missing in here. There was a Mike Huckabee tweet. They still do talk about it, and their fucking decision making on that shit. And what was the other one? James Woods. Did you make it far enough to read the James Woods part?
No.
Oh shit, man.
I didn't get very far because I was trying to finish some videos up and trying to read it at the same time, and that worked out about as well as you'd expect.
Look, I think this is 68 tweets long, if I remember correct. I made it to about 39.
I made it like 10 or 15 in, and I was kind of skimming because I was trying to wrap that. I was trying to get the videos processed before we went live because I can't run Vegas and talk on the stream. It fucks everything up.
Guys, don't forget to hit the like button, the rumble button, the fist button, all of the different buttons that show that you're enjoying the stream. And if you can, toss some money, me and Jack. The Streamlabs are at the top. I know it's Christmas time. It's a hard time. But if you can and are so inclined, please consider doing so.
All we want for Christmas is some ramen.
Nut says there were like 3 or 4 tweets I couldn't find after 27. Yeah, I think that they had a similar situation to the other day where something got posted that he wasn't supposed to, and Elon was like, "Hey, could you take that one down?"
Yeah, there was a little whoopsie doodle.
Yeah, but
Um,
anyway, go
Real
ahead.
quick, thank you, S Cybertest. I'm sorry my crazy train of thoughts tend to sidetrack people. Yeah, we do it too, dude. Don't feel bad. Although a comparison of Edgar Rice Burroughs' Tarzan and Rudyard Kipling's Mowgli could be interesting. Tarzan would kick his ass.
I think Tarzan would. I think especially because Mowgli was a little kid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
little kids can't take a punch.
no, you punch them in the face, they go right down.
Yeah, and then they cry a lot, like "I want my mommy." Blah blah blah.
Did I ever tell you the funniest thing that I ever imagined that is absolutely horrible?
Like that time you hit that girl in the face with a shovel.
I didn't hit her in the face; it was in the top of the head.
Yeah, that makes it better.
You're making okay, hitting her in the face would be a whole bunch worse. It's not good either way. No, I don't know why. I was sitting there one day and just the idea of somebody walking past a stroller and randomly punching a baby made me start laughing my ass off.
That's pretty fucked up, dude.
It's really fucked up.
Well, what? Wait,
I hate that my brain works this way.
was it the baby, the Finster baby from the Bugs Bunny cartoons?
No, it was actually the baby from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So it was a grown baby.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that
Yeah.
makes it okay. Then
Yeah,
that could
yeah.
be fun.
You never
Depending
punch an
cartoon.
actual child. No.
No, that's awful.
Don't judge me, Brad. Trust
Everybody's
me.
judging you.
I judge myself enough for that. Anyhow, we had some actual news going on here. Not just what a fucked up human being I am.
Yeah, you're a monster.
Baby Herman, that's right, Brad. Thank you. Ministry of Ron, thank you so much. What was the oopsie doodle people's names? The whoopsie doodle, huh?
On the tweets that got taken down, I assume.
Oh. Don't know. My guess with the Huckabee one would be that it was one that like Twitter was like, yeah, we should get rid of that. So reposting it would be a violation or something. I have no idea. As far as I know, he doesn't explain. It is my one complaint about these drops, Jack, is I just want a little more. If they're not going to let us read them ourselves, just a little more explanation for some of the stuff that gets done. Like the other day, the whoopsie doodle was accidentally giving out Jack's email address. Whoopsie.
Yeah, well, screw that guy. I don't feel bad for Dorsey.
Did you see that little motherfucker called Elon a liar?
I'm not surprised, but I'm pretty sure Jack was stoned for about half of this, so he doesn't remember that he did a lot of this stuff or approved it. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he called Elon a liar.
As Cybertaz, thank you so much. It says, was it Rosemary's baby? If it makes it better, then yes. Anything that makes that horrible thought better, yes.
Yeah, it was Damien. Yes.
I just don't understand why my brain works that way. No, somebody was talking about how CP has been cleaned up on Twitter. And Elon said it's a disgrace that it hadn't been done sooner, but they're working on it now. And Jack said, this is a lie.
Oh, bullshit. That's shit. People reported a couple of those accounts. I know because we started a campaign to get some of that shit taken down.
Yep.
And it still sat there for weeks.
And they still, at least to my knowledge, haven't made a this is kiddie porn, please take it down report. That should be really freaking easy.
You would think so. You'd think so. I think it'd be easy to suspend those accounts and block the IPs. But apparently they didn't care that much. And it really made me wonder about where the priorities were at Twitter. And now we know they were busy playing these stupid fucking political games instead of protecting kids.
Comrade Kitty, that is ridiculously generous. Thank you so much. He says, here's something for you and Lady Monkey. I appreciate that. Is it okay if I spend it all on her? Because spending on her makes me happy. Ministry of Wrong Thing says, CP, dear God, look, on social media, and this includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even here on YouTube, there is a problem with CP. And trying to get it taken down is like pulling teeth. I saw Shoe on Head made a video about all the shit that she's gotten over the Balenciaga ads, because she's largely responsible for it blowing up on Twitter and then elsewhere. A whole bunch of her fans, I'm using air quotes there, came out and like, how dare you do this right after the shooting of a gay club? She just hates the gays.
Why are the gays getting lumped in with kid diddlers?
Yeah, why are the gays even involved in that conversation?
Yeah. I know several gays, and they're opposed to kid diddling.
Yeah.
We may disagree on a lot of politics, but we can all come to the table and say, hey, don't fondle children, you weirdos.
Is Shu on Badge turning right again? No, I mean, Shu has always been, no matter what you think of Shu, when it comes to any kind of kitty diddling shit, she has always been no. She was one of the ones who made a big stink about cuties.
Yeah, remember that.
Whatever you think about her, she's always on the right side of that from what I've seen. Except her friendship with Vosh.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
Yeah. I don't know how you square being friends with him when he said that you can have positive effects for a child having sex with an adult and not being, tolerant of kitty diddling, but whatever.
I don't know. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Comrade Kitty, for that very generous donation. Here's something for you and your love den ladies. Oh, thank you. I will buy them some extra ramen and maybe a new used mattress.
Oh, there you go. All right, let's get back to the Twitter files here because we're only on 7 out of like 68. This is going to be a long show, guys. Settle in. Somebody said that they missed our old shows when we would just go for hours, but the monkey said that'll never happen again. I never said it would never happen again that I know of. And we just did a 5-hour one the other day.
We probably did say that at some point, and then we're like, yeah, fuck that. We're totally going to do long shows again.
I mean, this show has never had a set time. Most of the time, if it's like, okay, I got to get this over with, it's because I need to go do a game stream. So 68, they couldn't think of one more. I think maybe they were trying to get away from hitting right on 69.
Quitters.
All right. Twitter executives removed Trump in part over what one executive called the context surrounding actions by Trump and supporters over the course of the election and, frankly, the last 4+ years. Quote, in the end, they looked at a broad picture. Sorry, that's the end of the quote. At the end, they looked at a broad picture, but that approach can cut both ways. But it hasn't ever.
No, it's very rare they would punish a lefty.
Ministry of Wrong Thing, thank you. Love Shu, but I still find it increasingly hard to believe she isn't literally Belle Delphine. Well, if she is, one day she will make a mint off of Pornhub or whatever it is. What's the one? OnlyFans.
Oh, it's Belle Delphine. Oh, I keep thinking of Boxy.
No. I think he might have meant, or he could have meant Boxy.
Well, isn't Belle Delphine on OnlyFans?
Kind of. She's disappeared.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She had her porn debut, made a lot of money, and just kind of disappeared.
Disappeared like some of the porn stars disappear?
No.
Like in the back of a van on the way to Mexico? Or
she kind of tried to make a comeback, but her whole thing was a bunch of people just dying to see her naked. And once you've given them that, the audience goes away.
I saw her nudes. She was okay looking, a little thick in the thighs.
Okay, gentlemen. I get it. I like vagina. I love vagina. It's one of my favorite things. Play with it, lick it, slap it around, put your wiener in it. But there's a ton of it out there. A lot of it can be seen for free. And if you're not touching it yourself, what's the difference from seeing a random beautiful woman that you've never donated $100 to and one that you have, other than she now has your money? I seriously need somebody to answer that for me because I do not get it. I was going to say I'm not judging you. I really am. But what's the difference there? It's different if she's providing you some kind of content that you enjoy, Jack. But when it's like, I get to see her pooter. There's lots of pooters out there. They're all over the place. The internet is flooded with pooter.
for free.
Thank you, Snubber. Funnily enough, Shu has a porn star doppelganger. Forget her name. I'm not into small breasts. It's the chick everybody thought, what's his name? Armored Skeptic had moved on to, but that turned out to be false. He'd like hit her up and she didn't really care.
Yeah,
Poor bastard.
Like, who's this fat Canadian?
Yeah, she's like, I don't care about you. You don't. I'm making millions of dollars over here with my pooter. Take your little YouTube channel away from me.
Yeah. Move along now. Move along.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't need any poutine. Thank you.
You have no right to judge anyone, Mr. Punch a Baby. I didn't say I would punch a baby. Jesus. And Ministry of Wrong Thing, thank you. Hey, don't throw us babies out with Bell's bathwater. No, that bathwater is expensive. You got to keep that shit. All right, let's get back to the story, shall we?
What's the resale value on that chick's bathwater, do you think?
Nothing.
Is there a market for that?
It probably, she sold out in like a day.
Gross. I don't understand that. I really don't. Like,
I don't even believe it was her bathwater.
I don't either. It's probably like dishwater or something. Somebody's gonna try and clone her and end up with a roast beef sandwich.
That's so gross. Hi, with JJ. I'm working with blank on my team to put together a doc to share with you with a POV from research, ours, academics with whom we have been working, etc., on Donald J. Trump's language as coded incitement to further violence. They had a team who was making it up.
Of course they did. They probably held an emergency meeting to assemble it.
Ridge says, all the popular liberals on Twitter are in favor of the FBI colluding with Twitter to cheat Trump out of the White House. Sorry, I can't tolerate stupidity. I hear you, but is it surprise? Remember Sam Harris? It was okay to keep the laptop story buried, even if what it showed was that he had a basement full of dead babies.
Yeah, well,
I'm sorry, he said dead children, right? I give a little bit of, at least it wasn't just babies.
Sam Harris is a piece of shit, though. He's a smart, dumb guy, thinks he's more important than he is. He's overrated, and I hope he fades into obscurity because people like that shouldn't be popular. But that's just my opinion.
But it makes the point. I mean, it's such a team sport. It doesn't matter that we cheated. As they talk about the importance of fair and open democracy.
Yeah, well, they had to cheat, Monkey. They had to.
Snubber, thank you. Hey, Monkey's daughter, don't let your dad around other people's kids or boxing gloves. I have never punched a child. I wouldn't punch a child. I think I should say that too. I wouldn't punch a child.
Depends on the circumstances.
I mean, I can't imagine a circumstance where I'd have to punch a child.
Some of those little fuckers are biters, and during the zombie apocalypse.
All right, if it's a zombie baby, maybe.
Right,
that's a little rhyme I made up just for you guys. If it's a zombie baby, maybe. Let's move on with the story.
All right.
In the meantime, here's our quick take. The decision on whether to pull that particular tweet or use that tweet as a last straw for Trump depends on many factors, including 1, the overall context and narrative in which that tweet lives. What?
Lives? What?
We currently analyze tweets and consider them at a tweet-by-tweet basis, which does not appropriately take into account the context surrounding. So at this point, they're telling you, we look at the tweet and we judge it based on the tweet. But this is them going, no. What we need to do now, because we can't just take it down based on what it said and our policies, we're going to make up some bullshit.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Context matters. Oh, dear fuck. Fuck you.
Yeah, now it matters when they wanted to.
Whoever wrote this at Twitter, with my account being banned, go fuck yourself. I got banned for targeted harassment for a guy who was following me around.
Yeah, why were you harassing that guy, Monkey?
I wish I could send screenshots when I do my appeals over there on Twitter. I would screenshot this shit and highlight that portion.
Oh, it wouldn't matter. The system's designed to punish people, not to redeem them.
Context. How many times? Look at Bear when he got in trouble. He was fucking around with a friend of his.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, that was you in violence against other people. Context matters now.
pretty sure they pulled the same shit with Count Dankula and Bering.
Context matters, and the narrative that Trump and his friends have pursued over the course of this election and frankly last 4 years must be taken into 4 years plus, I should say, must be taken into account when interpreting and analyzing that tweet. So here we see them making up, it's all about the context, which, look, Jack, I think context should matter when you're talking about should you kick somebody off the platform for something they said.
Yeah, that should be a last resort kind of thing.
If I'm a white guy who lives in a black neighborhood and all of my friends and me drop N-bombs at each other, and then we go onto Twitter and I drop one at one of them, I shouldn't get kicked off for that because the context around that is that's just how me and my friends talk. That's not how Twitter operates until apparently Donald Trump.
Oh, Trump!
Trump really did ruin everything.
He made these people's lives very complicated.
He broke them. He fucking broke them.
Yeah.
Number 2, the larger question is around our moral imperative and decisions as a company. Which user sentiment should not drive based on number 1? And I believe that his tweet does violate our rules when taking that historical context plus current climate into account.
Ugh. Current year bullshit.
Current climate.
I hate these people so much.
That's weird, man. I saw 2020 and a whole bunch of cities burning down. And there were a lot of people cheering that on and never got in trouble for it at all.
No, and they were actively spreading where to meet and things like that for these actions. Remember?
Mm-hmm. But the bulk of the internal debate leading to Trump's ban took place in those 3 January days. However, the intellectual, how dare you? The intellectual framework. What he means right here is the utter bullshit. The utter bullshit. However, the intellectual framework was laid in the months preceding the Capitol riots. Dark Resurrect, thank you so much for that feminist $12. But the Latola is perfectly okay to stay. Oh, the Ayatollah, whoops, is perfectly okay to stay on Twitter. Literally a state sponsor of terrorism and the destruction of the state of Israel. Mean tweets, though. Yeah. Look, it's okay to say that you think the state of Israel should be removed unless you're Kanye West. Dark, do you realize you sent that one twice? That was twice. I can refund that if you want. Or I will refund that if you want. Before January 6th, Twitter was in a unique mix of automated, rules-based enforcement and more subjective moderation by senior executives. As Barry Weiss reported, the firm had a vast array of tools for manipulating visibility, most all of which were thrown at Trump and others pre-January 6th. So, it's interesting to me, and he's going to get to this in a minute. I forget where. Hang on, I'm putting a big X on my hand, so I remember to refund that.
He said, "Give it to Jack. PayPal being fucky."
Oh,
thanks.
Fair enough. That makes it a lot easier. Remind me. Do not let me forget. I have a line on my hand that'll help me remind.
That remind. Hey, why do I have this line on my hand?
Well, it's very easy to see because it's right in the middle of 4 huge scratches that the cat put on me.
It's gonna look like you were underlining the scratches.
Lady Monkey,
where she hit me, officer.
Lady Monkey saw my arm tonight. She went, "Holy shit!" I'm like, yeah, me and her play hard. I got to get some leather gloves so we can play.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Dark Resurrect. I appreciate it, man.
I'm gonna go to a leather store and be like, "You got long leather gloves?" I'd be like, "Why?" Like, for me and my cat.
I want to play with my pussy cat.
That was me, wasn't it? I took it there.
Yeah, you
My
did.
bad.
You started this.
As the election approached, senior executives, perhaps under pressure from federal agencies with whom they met more as time progressed, increasingly struggled with rules. No, no, no. They didn't struggle with rules. They struggled with how to make the rules fit situations so that they could kick off people they didn't like.
Yeah, they struggled with the rules.
No, they didn't struggle with the rules. They struggled with bullshit. Thank you, S. Cybertaz. I did not punch that baby. Fair. Never punch babies. It's not good. We do not support baby punching here on the Monkey in the Morning show.
No, not at all.
But catch me on the after party. Where are we? Increasingly struggled with the rules and began to speak of VIOs, that's violations, as pretext to what to do what they'd like to have done anyway. After January 6th, internal Slack showed Twitter executives getting a kick out of intensifying relationships with federal agencies.
I mean, are you surprised?
No, not at all. I'm annoyed by it, though.
You should be. It's unethical on so many levels. And fuck the government for doing that. But real quick, thank you, S. Cybertaz. Maybe a dingo punched the baby. No, dingoes eat babies.
Dingoes steal babies.
And then raise them in the wild.
We don't know what happened to that kid. It just disappeared.
They're going to find little Australian Mowgli.
And that's going to be a bad motherfucker.
Right?
He grew up in the most dangerous place on earth.
Yeah, instead of like riding an elephant, he's going to come in on a bunyip and like throw huntsman spiders at people. Oh, it's going to be terrifying.
I see 32 people on Rumble. We need to have at least 40 Rumbles over there. And I don't know how many people we got on the YouTubes. Hit that like button. Damn it. How dare you? Make me repeat myself. These are breaths I'll never get back. Anyway, after January 6th, internal Slack shows Twitter executives getting a kick out of intensified relationships with federal agencies. Here's trust and safety head Yoel Roth, that fucking piece of shit, lamenting a lack of generic enough calendar descriptions to conceal his very interesting meeting partners. As Cybertaz, thank you. Monkey snorting lines like Worski. Never tried it. I don't like anything up my nose. I don't like the feeling of things in my nose. Can you eat it? Maybe I'd try it that way. I'm not gonna, but if I was ever going to. Anyway, Yoel Roth, this is him. He says, it happens. I'm a big believer in calendar transparency, but I've reached a certain point where my meetings became very interesting to people, and there weren't meeting names generic enough to cover. Anyway, let me know. And somebody who they're not giving this the name to says, very boring business meeting. That is definitely not about Trump. Wink. And Yoel says, pretty much. And he says, definitely not meeting with the FBI, I swear. To which the guy replies, LMAO.
Ugh.
Look how cool I am. I got to meet with the feds.
Well, they are a bunch of sellouts. These are the people that'll tattle on their neighbors when the Stasi come into power.
Yeah. We're talking about the federal government getting involved with speech. You should have been going, I'm not taking your calls, fucknut.
Yeah, that's a First Amendment violation.
If you call me here again, I'm going to my lawyers. But no, they enjoy it because it was the side they wanted to. I guarantee you if the FBI was coming to them about Biden and being like, you got to let the world know what a shitbag Biden is, he'd be like, we can't have you guys involved.
How dare you?
And notice he said, totally not meeting about Trump. Specifically Trump. Not their rules. Anyway.
Well, that does mean that Elon should have access to all those emails.
Theoretically.
So, let's see those drop, huh?
These initial, well, they might not be able to with it being communications with the government.
Well, it's a civil rights violation, so I'm sure their
Fair.
lawyer could argue that, hey, this is an infringement on people's rights.
Faithless says, how is that not treason by the FBI against the president? Oh, I'll tell you, because the DOJ is run by the president's shitbags.
Yeah, because Merrick Garland's in charge and he's not going to do anything.
Yep.
Because he's a shitbag too, has been targeting people. So we have a lot of corruption going on in our alphabet agencies.
These initial reports are based on searches for docs linked to prominent executives whose names are already public. They include Roth, former Trust and Safety Chief Vijay Gade, I forget how you say her name, and recent Plank Walker Deputy General Counsel and former FBI top lawyer Jim Baker. He's the one that got fired the other day. He was the one giving out the information, and they were like, wait a minute, why is this guy involved with giving us this stuff? He goes away, and suddenly we got the drops coming at a pretty fast clip, Jack.
Yeah.
One particular Slack channel offers a unique window into involving thinking of top officials in late 2020 and early 2021. Ministry of Ron think, thank you so very much. What's with the special moral emphasis generally given to orphans? If an orphanage's bus blows up, you don't have to knock on any doors, just sign some paperwork. Plus, the kid gets to see their parents again. It's a win-win. Wow. That is dark as shit, dude. Funny, but dark. Wow. Oh, our audience, Jack. I love you guys. All right. On October 8th, 2020, have you noticed that Matt said he's gonna do all the stuff leading up to it, and that Barry and the other guy are gonna do the 7th and the 8th?
Yeah.
And then a lot of this is from after the 8th.
Yeah. There must be something big they're holding back.
Yeah. On October 8th, 2020, executives opened a channel called US 2020 _XFN _enforcement. Through January 6th, this will be home for discussions about election-related removals, especially ones that involved high-profile accounts often called VITs or very important tweeters.
They couldn't come up with anything more original than that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Interestingly, wasn't the laptop story the end of September?
I think so.
So this would be something they did after that all blew up, if I'm remembering the timeline correctly. Late September is when the laptop story blows up, and this is October 8th. They make a channel specifically, and it says for very important tweeters, but let's be honest, we're talking about Republicans, conservatives, and Donald Trump. The latter being the most important.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone start. Oh, let me blow that up so you guys can see it even bigger. Everyone, starting tomorrow, October 8th until November 15th, this channel will be used for the following reasons related to the U.S. 2020 elections. You ready for this, Jack?
No.
Trends identified that require scaled investigations. High-profile account escalations that potentially require PII, P2, I'm not sure what that is, soft interventions. This is where they were going in like, you didn't actually break a rule, but we're going to slap a warning on this tweet or whatever. Thank you. Good night. I know how to lower population by 15% and crime by 60%. Wow.
Oh my God. Yeah, we can't make that joke.
Yeah. YouTube, I was just reading. I'm using the bearing defense. I was just reading a super chat. Oh my God. We got to hurry along. I forgot. Did you see Kat Tenbarge wrote a story today?
No.
And one of her main sources for the story, source, not subject, was Matt Jarbo.
What?
Yeah. We'll have to get to that in a little bit. This might be a 4-hour show, guys. I'm sorry. Do not let me end this without talking about the Jarbo thing.
Okay.
That shit made me laugh so hard. I started reading this and it said YouTuber Matt Jarbo. I'm like, what? And yeah, she is a main source of this fucking thing, or he's a main source in this fucking article. All right. Anyway, where are we? Scalable solutions required. Edge cases for XFN consultation. Highlighting tech issues, bugs, tools outrage, or outage. Whoops, sorry. Jira tickets. I don't know what any of that shit is. I don't care. This is an enforcement channel. You guys get the drift, right? This was a channel they made. Here's the different groups that are involved: site integrity, safety policy, product trust, safety operations, media ops. Global escalation team. That's who was involved in this particular chat. And their main goal was to make sure you only saw what they wanted you to see. I mean, trends identified that require scaled investigations. What the fuck does that even mean?
This trend is too popular. We need to put stop to it now because for some reason it's blowing up. We don't like that.
Thank you, S. Cybertaz. Kit Kat Tunbarge blocked me. She blocked my cousin on my account. I'm not blocked. It's funny, on my account, I'm blocked by Taylor Lorenz, but not Kat Tenbarge. My cousin can still follow Taylor Lorenz, but not Kat Tenbarge. It's
weird.
Yeah, it's kind of. It just shows that we're different people. If anything shows it, that shows it, right?
I believe so. That sounds like proof to me.
Chicago Mike, thanks so much. 4-hour show as opposed to a 3-hour tour. Indeed. There will be no shipwreck here.
Hopefully. Both are disasters of their own kind.
There was at least some tension between safety operations, a larger department whose staffers used a more rules-based process for addressing issues like porn, scams, and threats, and a smaller, more powerful group of senior policy execs like Roth and the JJ. So they have this big team whose whole job is like, we're going to follow the rules. And Roth and Vijay were like, you guys can do that unless we say otherwise. What's the point of having a rules team? Look, I don't think the rules team was the safety operations that they say there. Safety. Would you guys stop with that shit? But I don't think that they were enforcing the rules evenly to begin with. But why in the world are you going to have this group and then be like, yeah, by the way, nothing you just said matters. We're going to do it anyway.
It's to prevent real world harm.
I guess.
Trust and safety, monkey. Emotional safety, too.
Trust and safety. That's how that should always be said. Trust and safety.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You have to go to the trust and safety division of HR.
S. Cybertest, thank you. I call dibs on Marianne. You can't. No. Marianne belongs to all of us. If anybody wants to call dibs, it's got to be on that whore Ginger.
No, Mrs. Howell's the whore. You know she was.
I'd have plugged the shit out of her.
Ew.
What? She's the only one nobody wants, so she's nice and clean.
Yeah, it's all wrinkly down there. It's all used up and
spit on it.
You ain't gonna get her pregnant, but you gotta look her in the face and smell her old lady breath.
If it's too loose, just reach down there, grab up some of that meat until it's tight enough.
Well, that was a visual.
That's like a saddle horn, is what that is. As I said, it might be worse than the 3 hours. As you said, it might be just a disaster like the 3-hour tour. All right. The latter group were a high-speed Supreme Court of moderation, issuing content rulings on the fly, often in minutes, and based on guesses, gut calls, even Google searches, even in cases involving the president. Now, Jesus Monkey, what I did? I hate when I see Jesus Monkey in the chat because I never know what I did. I didn't punch a baby this time, did I?
Oh no. See, they were referring to you as the Jesus Monkey. They think you're the Messiah. I think.
I prefer Jesus Monkey.
Oh,
just for the record. Stop ruining Gooligan for me, or Gilligan for me. Sorry, Mickey, and hi, Mickey. Gooligan. That they should have had a Gooligan for a holiday special one time.
Is that the undead Gilligan?
Yeah, it should have been a Scooby-Doo crossover. Scooby-Doo used to do crossovers.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
did they do one with Gilligan?
They might have. I don't remember. They did so many. My favorite were Batman and Robin because I like Batman.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah.
we were kids.
Yeah.
That and the Harlem Globetrotters.
See, I never really cared for the Globetrotters on there. I love the Globetrotters in real life. One, those fuckers are talented
Yeah,
and
I
funny.
never watched them in real life, so
Oh, dude, you've never. Oh, you got it. Just pull
not
up a
as a
clip.
kid. Well, I've seen them since, but
Okay.
not as a
Okay.
kid.
I never got to see him live because we were poor, but they would often be on the news and stuff. So, anyhow, where are we? This is from one of the blank people. Hi, everyone. Received this escalation just now. And it's a tweet from Donald Trump saying 50,000 Ohio voters getting wrong absentee ballots, out of control, a rigged election. And the guy says, a rigged election would be enough to be in violation, right? And Yoel has to come up and go, nah, bro, because it's a real story. But you see how they were itching? Shouldn't this guy, the first guy up here, been like, I should look that up myself real fast? I think he even knew it was real because notice the only thing that he paid any attention to was the rigged election part.
He doesn't care if it's real. He just wants it to go away. It's all political operatives.
During this time, executives were also clearly liaisoning with federal enforcement and intelligence agencies. Did you guys catch that part? Not just federal liaisons, intelligence agencies. About moderation of election-related content. While we're still at the start of revealing the Twitter files, we're finding out more and more about these accusations, these interactions every day. Policy Director Nick Pickles. His parents named him Nick Pickles.
Like, that sounds like the name of a delightful children's show host, so I'm not going to judge him too harshly. Like Captain Kangaroo and Mr. Green Jeans.
Do you think his brother's name's Richard?
Maybe. I'm sure there's a Dick Pickles out there somewhere.
I'm sure there's somebody making a dick pickle right now.
Probably. They're putting it on a bun.
Policy Director. God damn it. I can do this. Nick Pickles is asked if they should say Twitter detects misinformation through ML human review and partnerships with outside experts. The employee asked, I know that's been a slippery process. Not sure if you want our public explanation to hang on that. And this is he literally just repeats what's right here. And old Dickie Pickles says, can we just say partnerships? Ain't that some dirty shit? Notice with partnerships, you don't have to say FBI. Not sure we'd describe the FBI, DHS as experts or some NGOs that aren't academic.
Why are there NGOs involved in this?
Why is the FBI and Department of Homeland Security involved with this?
I don't know. There's so many disturbing things about this. Like the erosion of civil liberties is not even, they're not even trying to hide it.
It's pretty pathetic, actually.
Yeah. So this is the main reason I'm glad that Elon Musk bought Twitter, because he's releasing all this stuff and he didn't have to.
The next tweet literally just repeats what we saw in the last one. This post about Hunter Biden's laptop situation shows that Roth not only met weekly with the FBI and DHS, but with the Office of the Director of National Intelligence.
What?
Met with DNI.
Wow.
Yeah. Take everything else you've heard. FBI and DHS, sure, that's fucking horrible. DNI? Are you kidding?
The rot in Washington goes real deep.
Jesus, why is DNI involved?
To eliminate human beings' rights and freedoms that are
all right,
naturally granted.
Look, I know we have to be careful what we say here, so I'm just going to throw this out as a general thing for y'all to think about. If FBI and DHS, and especially DNI, were involved in social media to this extent, can you imagine what else they might have had their dirty little fingers in? Matta says, what is DNI again? It's the Director of National Intelligence. And then in this case, it's the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. Think CIA, baby. They're a sister department.
This is like some MK Ultra psyop.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, this is the type of shit that you would see conspiracy movies about, but this is legit. We actually have documentation saying, yes, they are colluding.
Yeah. Snubber, thank you so much. FYI, 3 employees in trust and safety quit today. Oh, I would too. I would be distancing myself like a motherfucker from this.
Yeah, probably because they're all guilty of being involved in this. But
Cryptic, thank you. As dirty as Mickey's finger with one ring. I don't know how dirty she got when she was pulling that out of wherever she found it. I'm pretty sure it was nice and clean because she's a clean girl.
It's true.
Yoler is checked in. Here's what they said. What's new for you since our last check-in? Hacked materials exploded. Listen to this. I think what's written in here, I mean, the DNI thing is a huge bombshell, but this whole fucking thing is a bombshell.
Yeah.
Hacked materials exploded. We blocked the New York Post story, then we unblocked it, but said the opposite. I feel like they're admitting to lying right there.
Yeah. And I have a feeling that a lot of this is going to blow up in Dorsey's face since he was in front of Congress for some of this, saying they weren't doing this stuff.
We blocked the New York Post story, then we unblocked it, but said the opposite. Then we unblocked it, and now we're in a messy situation where our policy is in shambles. Comms is angry. Reporters think we're idiots, and we're refactoring an exceedingly complex policy 18 days out from an election. By the way, reporters didn't think you were idiots. Most of them were on your side for this because it was Hunter.
Yeah, and to be fair, they are idiots.
They are idiots. I mean, the public thought you were idiots. It wasn't the reporters. They were having your back for this shit. They were like, it makes sense that they were skeptical.
I think that they were more like getting pushback from reporters because they said they unblocked it. So it gave the appearance that they were being not quite on the up and up with the lefties. Like, you know, they're like, oh, you're backpedaling for the right wing. You're dumb.
Dark Resurrect, thank you for that feminist $12. Operation Mockingbird never ended, just evolved. Indeed.
Sure seems that way.
I'm sorry, seeing all these dirty little government agencies involved in this. Look, I expected the FBI, which, by the way, they shouldn't be either. Homeland Security, you're getting a little crazy there. Yeah. But then you get to the Office of National Intelligence. I mean, how can anybody think this is okay? Especially, you know, when we're talking about free speech, the government stepping in to go, this needs to be taken down. That is absolutely a constitutional violation, period. End of story. Thank you, Pumpkin Trucker. I'm running late as I'm running behind as always. But whatever the loving fuck monkey, Mrs. Howell, I'm eating, asshole. I still love you though, but still the fuck. What? Look, she's the one not being touched. It'd be like pulling the cellophane back on a really good chili from 2 nights ago.
No, it wasn't.
It's been simmering in there. You know, it's just been, the juice has been stewing together and it's perfect. It's perfect.
Sweaty and gross.
Well, yeah. Look, I think y'all are just, I wonder if he's gotten to the part about the saddle horn yet.
Probably.
If you just got to that and you're still eating, I apologize.
Do you?
Where are we? In short, fuck my life. Weekly sync with FBI, DHS, DNI regarding election security. The meeting happened about 15 minutes after the aforementioned hacked materials implosion. The government declined to share anything useful when asked. Monthly meeting with FBI, FITF, briefed on several ongoing investigations. They're getting briefs from the feds.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's real dirty, man.
Let that shit sink in. Anyhow. Yeah, this is the part where because I was reading along, Jack, like, okay, yeah. Oh my God. DNI. DNI is involved. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Roth reported to DNI or FBI, DHS, and DNI is almost farcical in its self-flagellating tone. And then it reports, he just repeats what's said, and he repeats the screenshot there. Some of Roth's later slacks indicate his weekly confab with federal law enforcement involves separate meetings. Here he goes to the FBI and DHS respectively to go on an Aspen Institute thing, then take a call from Apple. And that's literally, I'll put it on the screen for you guys. I'm not going to read it. Yeah, he just says that he's going to have to miss this week's meetings because he has to go to this Aspen Institute thing. I have no idea what it is. They don't go into further detail. But apparently he had to be there to present or be presented. I don't know. And then he had to take a call from Apple to make sure they didn't get kicked off the Apple store. Which I didn't know that was something that Apple was considering back then.
They probably were, because they weren't censorious enough like Apple's Chinese overlords want them to be.
They probably wanted some cut of Twitter is what they wanted. Monkey, you're nasty. What? Ask your mom. That's not right. I apologize.
That was mean.
Here, the FBI reports a pair of tweets. What? The FBI reported tweets.
Yeah, it sounds right.
The first one is a tweet. I went and looked up the story. It's about in Pennsylvania, there were these mailers going out where if you filled out the thing, you could request an absentee ballot. And people saw them being shredded up. And the response to this was, no, these were just extras. This was cleanup. This wasn't anybody's mail.
Right. Anybody believe that? Anybody?
But that's the explanation. And then the second story I did not find. They talk about it in the next one. Editorial at the Democrats are in a complete panic as their massive push for vote by mail is backfiring on them. Two things are unfolding. An unexpected number of registered Republicans are returning ballots, and between 2 and 25% of the ballots by mail are being rejected for errors. The FBI reported that tweet. The FBI reported that tweet. The FBI flagged the tweet, and this is the same repeat of it. And they were told that it's not a violation. It's not a violation. So the first one got flagged down. The second one did not. The group then decides to apply a learn how voting is safe and secure label because one commenter says it's totally normal to have a 2% error rate. This is something you're going to start seeing when they start paying attention to the comments to decide whether or not to mark something as misinformation or that kind of stuff. And Roth then gives the final go-ahead to process the initiated FBI post. Examining the entire election enforcement slack, we didn't listen closely. We didn't see one reference to moderation requests from the Trump campaign, the Trump White House, or Republicans generally. We looked. They may exist. We're told they do. However, they were absent here.
Huh. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. All right. The next tweet is the one that is missing from, what's his name? Mike Huckabee. I only know it's Mike Huckabee because they tell us in the next one.
No.
And actually, there's number 28, 29, 30, and 31 are all missing. So This inspires a long Slack that reads like a Titiana McGrath parody. I agree it's a joke, concedes a Twitter employee, but he's also literally admitting in a tweet a crime. The group declares Huck an edge case, and though one notes we don't make exceptions for jokes or satire, they ultimately decide to leave him be because, quote, we've poked enough bears. Could still mislead people, the humor averse group declares before moving on from Huckabee. I'll put the, this is the one we have to do this with. Hang on. Open image in a new ad tab. There we go. I'll blow it up for you. Yeah, and it's Roth here that made the comment that he's admitting to a crime. He's making some joke about the election. I have no idea what it was. Could not find it. But these assholes are like, yes, we know it's a joke, but we don't make exceptions for jokes, which actually they do. They do. They have many times before. I'm going to leave the chunks on the screen so you can read them if you'd like to.
Oh, the Aspen Institute is a nonprofit. Their aim is the realization of a free, just, and equitable society through seminars, policy programs, conferences, and leadership development initiatives. Thank you, Evil One.
And this asshole got to go up there and talk in front of him. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyhow, they go on. Tend to agree it's an edge case. It's basically what Matt wrote, but I'll leave it on the pause if you need to read it, and I'm going too fast there. So there you go. There's the whole thing, and it ends with this. The thrust of the joke seems to be that mail-in ballots are the fraudulent votes. So I could see an argument for our mail-in voting label, but absent confusion, I'd also be inclined to leave the joke alone. They talk a lot in here about how they went and looked at the comments on whatever it was Huckabee put up, and nobody seemed confused by it. So, okay, we'll let it go. But if anybody had been confused by it, they would have taken it down, Jack.
Of course, because how dare you confuse an idiot?
Roth suggests moderation, even in this absurd case, could depend on whether or not the joke results in confusion. This seemingly silly case actually foreshadows serious later issues. And this is just a screenshot of what was up above. In the docs, executives often expand criteria to subjective issues like internet. Yes, a video is authentic, but why was it shown? Orientation, was a banned tweet shown to condemn or support? Or reception, did a joke cause confusion? This reflex will become key in January 6th. In another example, Twitter employees prepare to slap a mail-in voting is safe warning label on Trump's tweet about postal screw-ups in Ohio before realizing the event took place, which means that the tweet was factually accurate. Now, for the record, this might sound familiar because we talked about it just a little bit up there, but it's an entirely a different person doing it. This is his thing. No, a rigged election, said Trump, and he's responding to an ABC article about 50,000 voter ballots being wrong. And they have the same conversation where at the end, Yoel has to go, yeah, it's actually true. They were itching to get Donald Trump off of there. And this is before anything happened on January 6th. This is before the fucking election. Anyway, that's back in October, Jack. It's back in October.
Real quick. Thank you, Jarbo's ingrown nipple hair. Says, yeah, this has all the earmarks of a Russian disinformation campaign. How can you believe this claptrap?
This is, I mean, man, I let's just read more. Very well done on speed. Trump was being visibility filtered. I'll just bring this one up here. Trump put out big problem and discrepancies with mail-in ballots all over the U.S. Must have final total on November 3rd. And they slapped a content warning on there. There were problems. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. Anybody with a brain knew there was going to be problems because most of these states that were doing this did not have systems in place for mass mail-in voting.
How dare you?
And you can say that without it. Nothing in here says rigged election or anything on this one. And they slapped a goddamn warning on it. And they have a discussion about it where I think is it this one? Yeah, it's the next one here. Where Yoel here is like, good job, team, because it took him like 15 minutes to slap a label on the president's tweet. Now, this is the last part, I believe, that I read. And this is some bullshit, Jack. A seemingly innocuous follow-up involved a tweet from actor James Woods, whose ambiguous presence I think it's supposed to be, is argued over Twitter data sets is already a Twitter file in joke. And Woods just tweets out, Twitter is suppressing this tweet by the president. Here's a screen grab, and it's that tweet. After Woods angrily quote tweeted about Trump's warning label, Twitter staff, in a preview of what ended up happening after January 6th, despaired of a reason for action, but resolved to hit him hard on future violations.
Wow, that's vengeful.
Two people talking. We don't get either of their names. This is the first person. Considering the PB2 bug outs this weekend regarding James Woods being so over the strike limit that our tools won't work on him. What?
I'm so immune from all the strikes I've already got.
He's the character from the South Park WoW episode. He's more powerful than the devs.
Yeah.
I'd suggest we action him for something worth the fiasco rather than this screenshot, since we don't have a firm policy basis for action on his account.
I can see why he wants to sue.
I think this is going to help him.
I think it's absolutely going to help him.
We have no reason to do anything to him, but we should anyway.
Yeah.
And this is
we'll
what...
save it for later. Ha ha ha.
Oh, hear the reply, and it's full, Jack. This is what the reply came. Yep. Are you fine with letting this one lie? And then there's another name. They're asking somebody else. Are you fine with letting this one lie? Can hit him hard on future VO with firmer basis. I don't see how, because up there you told us that you couldn't even strike him anymore.
Yeah. No, they're just saving up to smack him real hard later. Wow. That's really fucked up.
Here a label is applied to Georgia Republican Congresswoman Jody Heiss for saying, say no to big tech censorship. They censored her for saying, say no to censorship.
Irony is real thick in this one, isn't it?
Yeah, Rogue Thought. Rogue Thought says, imagine if CP had this much attention. Yeah, imagine if they paid this much attention to the horrible shit that goes on Twitter.
Yeah, no, they don't want to do that. They don't care about that.
She says, read it and share, say no to big tech censorship. Mailed ballots are more prone to fraud than in-person voting. That shouldn't be controversial. It's just common sense. And they gave it a little, learn how voting by mail is safe and secure. Look, the most way, and this is all they were saying there, the most secure way is voting in person, period. Nobody, even people who are firmly on the side of mail-in voting, nobody will say that it is more secure than in-person voting. It can't be. There's more people involved. That's not to YouTube. That's not to say anything happened. That's just a fact of life. Anyway, Twitter teams went easy on Heiss, only applying soft intervention, with Roth worrying about a Wawa censorship optics backlash. Yeah, people who don't think censorship is good, they're just bitches. They're just whiny little babies who need punched in the face.
Yeah.
These people are such cocksuckers, man.
They really are.
I'll throw this one on the screen if you guys want to. Whoops, did I accidentally click that? No, okay, good. Hear them talking about it. Yeah, they decide we'll go easy on this one because we don't want bad optics. I guess maybe they learned a little bit of a lesson from what they did to the New York Post.
No, I don't think they learned a fucking thing.
I think not that they care about censorship, Jack, just how it's going to look. So they got to make sure they're not going too hard as they'd like to. Like we got to tone this down because it could end up in the media if we're that big of douchebags. Meanwhile, there are multiple instances of involving pro-Biden tweets warning Trump may try to steal the election that got surfaced only to be approved by senior executives. This one, they decide, just expresses concern that mailed ballots might not make it on time. Remember, guys, it's only Republicans, conservatives, and anybody that's not a Democrat that thinks that elections can be stolen or mail-in ballots can be dangerous. You know. This is so disgusting and terrifying. They're going to try to steal the election. You have 1 week. If you haven't voted yet, don't mail. Drop it off or vote early. If you can't vote, make sure your family is, unless they're Trump supporters. Let them forget. This is a guy saying that mail-in voting is not safe. He just said it. And here's how Twitter deals with it. Hi, team. Can I get your opinion on this? This is an edge case with commentary encouraging voters not to vote by mail. I believe we should label it. And Conlon here says, I think that I'd not bother with labeling this one. It's still encouraging people to vote, but expresses the concern that mailed ballots might not make it in time. Is that what he said? Let's go back. You have 1 week. If you haven't voted yet, don't mail. For the record, every state in the union, as long as your ballot is postmarked by election day at 8 p.m., it counts. So he's not worried about timing here at all. They just lied. They just lied so that they could keep the Republicans being called cheaters, but not the Democrats. Which seems fair this close to the election date. What? No. Again, postmarked by the election at 8 p.m. That's all it has to be. Well, okay, I need to correct that. Some of them have to be reached. I need to correct that because some of them have to be there by election night. That's my bad. But there should be no city where you're voting because your vote is like right there. It should go to your local post office and then go right back out from your local post office. Anyway, that's understandable. This is them talking a little bit more. In this exchange, again, unintentionally humorous, former Attorney General Eric Holder claimed the U.S. Postal Service was deliberately crippled, ostensibly by the Trump administration. He was initially hit with a generic warning label, but it was quickly taken off by Roth. It's too late to use the mails. How many fucking mail systems does he have?
I don't know.
Or is he talking about more than one person, or mailing your ballot for more than one? Never mind. Given Supreme Court rulings, I urge everyone to now vote in person, early vote, or use drop boxes. Protect your health, but don't let the court and the deliberately crippled Postal Service deprive you of one of your most precious civil rights. Plan your vote. Hey, folks, can we reverse the label on this tweet? Everything in it is factually accurate.
What's that going to stop them?
Where was the deliberately crippled Postal Service? I know that was a thing that was going around, and they were trying to say, yeah, Trump is making it so the post office doesn't work. These are the same people who are going to, hey, mail your ballot. It's perfectly safe. And then but Trump has crippled the post office, so it might not get there. It's a real thing that happened in the 2020 election, Jack. Anyway, later in November of 2020, Roth asked if staff had a debunk moment on the SCYTL Smartmantic vote counting stories, which his DHS contacts told him were a combination of about 47 conspiracy theories. Hi there, me again. Do we have a debunk moment on the same thing? Counting conspiracies? DHS referred to it on a call today, sadly not public, as a combination of about 47 different conspiracy theories. So hopefully there's stuff out there. Is anybody familiar with that?
Not a fan.
I have no idea what the fuck that is. On December 10th, as Trump was in the middle of firing off 25 tweets saying things like a coup is taking place in front of our eyes, or maybe behind the scenes, Twitter executives announced a new L3 de-amplification tool. This step meant that warning labels could now also come with de-amplification. So it wasn't enough to go, hey, this tweet is bullshit. Now they were like, this tweet is bullshit and nobody can see it. Go free speech.
Yay.
Anyway, some executives wanted to use the new de-amplification tool to silently limit Trump's reach more right away, beginning with the following tweet. It's Trump tweeting out a, what is this, Newsmax, OAN? Newsmax. Trump got 11 million more votes, Jim Jordan, via American Agenda, weekdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax. And then just said this claim about election fraud is disputed. All right. So I don't know, Jack. We can't talk about how many votes each person got.
Yeah, that'd be wrong.
However, in the end, the team had to use older, less aggressive labeling tools, at least for that day, until L3 entities went live the following morning. Thanks, P. Colon. I'm just calling him Colon now because he's an asshole. Should enforcement with the new entity start now, or should it wait until the policy officially goes live tomorrow morning? Does it matter? From what we've seen of everything they've done so far, why does it matter? Like we got to make sure until it's officially live. These new rules, we got to wait until they're officially live before we fuck people with them. I mean, we've just been making shit up all along. This is the kind of stuff that like Crowder has talked about and was suing. I don't know if his suits are still ongoing, but like YouTube and Twitter and them for. Because you're like, hey, these are our policies. And then even though you're well within the policies, they're like, sorry, you fucked up. You can't be here anymore. Anyhow. But they tell him, hey, wait until tomorrow. The significance is that it shows that Twitter, in 2020 at least, was deploying a vast range of visible and invisible tools to rein in Trump's engagement. Long before January 6th. The ban will come after other avenues are exhausted. In Twitter docs, executives frequently refer to bots. For example, let's put a bot on that. A bot is just an automated heuristic moderation tool. It can be anything. Every time a person in Brazil uses green and blob in the same sentence, action might be taken.
Oh, man, that's some serious speech controls.
In this instance, it appears that moderators added a bot for a Trump claim made on Breitbart. The bot ends up becoming an automated tool invisibly watching both Trump and apparently Breitbart. We'll add media ID to bot. Trump by January 6th was quickly covered in bots. So all of the bots that Elon was worried about actually work for Twitter.
Apparently.
All right. Trump, if we don't root out alleged voter fraud, then we don't have a country anymore. It's a Breitbart video that Trump retweeted. Hey, team, gonna add a fraud claim label to this. Claim of fraud at about 40 seconds of video. And Roth says, yup. And it says, we'll add media ID to bots. They were slapping a bot on Breitbart because of this.
Fuck's sake.
Breitbart was just repeating what Trump said. They were actually covering news.
No, that's why they're in trouble. How dare you? How dare you cover news?
What the actual fuck?
You were approved for that.
Oh, you're not one of those real journalists.
Yeah.
They like to pull that shit. There's no way to follow the frenzied exchanges among Twitter personnel from between January 6th and 8th without knowing the basics of the company's vast lexicon of acronyms and Orwellian unwords. Oh, fuck me, unwords.
You know, it's sad that that's accurate.
I know. To bounce an account is to put it in timeout, usually for 12 hours. This one's gave a heads up to folks, give it another few minutes, then proceed with bouncing. They let it sit there for a little while before they gave it the 12-hour bop.
Unbelievable.
This is trust and safety. It's such a unsafe, untrustworthy tweet that they have to do something to it in a couple of minutes.
As soon as they get around to it.
Interstitial? I think I'm saying that right.
Sure.
One of many nouns used as a verb in Twitter speak. Deny list is another, means placing a physical label atop a tweet so it can't be seen. Pill has multiple meanings, one being public interest interstitial. For example, a covering label applied to public interest reason or for public interest reason, sorry. The post below also references proactive visibility filtering.
In my opinion, proactive V should apply only to women that are like, you want to bang?
Right. Yeah. She's out there trying to, proactively share it. That's a good woman.
She's trying to get the D.
Unless she's related to me.
Yeah. Well, that's obvious.
For the record, these were interstitial. Am I saying that even close to
interstitial? Right? Yeah, it sounds right.
Okay. Interstitialized by our agents who are prioritizing our proactive V and Q. So process working well at the moment from that perspective. This is what they were doing between meetings, Jack.
They spent more time censoring people than actually doing their jobs.
Well, their jobs don't actually take that much time.
Apparently.
This is all necessary background for January 6th. Before the riots, the company was engaged in an inherently insane, impossible project, trying to create an ever-expanding, ostensibly rational set of rules to regulate every conceivable speech situation that might arise between humans. I think you're being way too generous. We saw earlier, Jack, where they had different standards depending on who the humans were, and specifically what their political leanings were. Just because they never came out and officially said, hey, we're going to apply this to Republicans, doesn't mean that's not what they were doing.
Yeah.
The project was preposterous, yet its leaders were unable to see this, having become infected with groupthink, coming to believe, actually says group thing. Don't fuck with me when I'm reading. It's hard enough. Coming to believe sincerely that it was Twitter's responsibility to control as much as possible what people could talk about, how often, and with whom. Yeah, I think we all knew that's what they were doing. And frankly, I don't believe that this just started in 2020. I got to be honest with you.
No,
we saw the reaction.
This methodology of it started then, but they've been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, one of the guys even mentions, what Trump has been doing for 4+ years. And not just Trump. Trump and his people have been doing for 4+ years. All of this shit really kicked in 2016. Well, technically 2017 because the election's at the end of the year.
Yeah. When
Trump won, that's when social media companies decided it can never happen again. I mean, didn't Google actually say that we can't let this happen again?
Something ridiculously stupid like that.
In that, for those of you who don't know, after the 2016 election, I think you can still see the video out there. There's a leaked video from a Google group meeting where they had high-ranking executives come up on stage and tell the audience how horrible the election was. One of them even cried.
Yeah.
And like, this isn't good. We're not going to let this happen again. And they said this before they ever went to Congress, before anybody ever said, yes, this was election interference from the Russians. So it's not like that's what they were talking about. They meant we are going to control what can be said, because if you control language, you control everything. Anyway, moving along. When panic first breaks out on January 6th, there's a fair share of what the fuck type posts mixed in with frantic calls for Twitter to start deploying its full arsenal of moderation tools.
Da, da, da.
Patrick Colin there. Graphic violence in case the media hasn't been flagged to safety yet. Video of a person being shot on the Capitol. This would be the video of Ashley Babbitt being killed. What's the right remediation here? Do we interstitialize the video? Why would you do it for that video?
You know why? Because they don't want anyone seeing it.
There's plenty of violence on Twitter.
Yeah, but that one they don't want you to see.
They don't interstitialize the child porn on Twitter.
They're okay with that. That's why.
Yeah. There's no giant warning flag saying don't fuck children over those videos. By the way, guys, hit the like button, hit the rumble button. Tell your friends to come watch, your friends, your family, that bitch you hate, get them here. If you have rich friends, have them come by. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, feel free to make their money our money.
Tell them that one day Monkey might show his big old honking wiener if he gets enough money. Just saying. If I ever got PewDiePie money, I would make a video just showing my dick and leave the platform. Like, because I'd just retire, man. Anyway. Roth. Oh, wait, we missed one there. This freedom or death tweet from Stop the Steal, Gadfly Mike, somebody elicits heated reactions. Today is one of the most important days in our nation's history. We cannot allow global homogeny to get over this country through fraudulent means. What happens today determines the next 100 years of our country. Freedom or death. You're a douche, man.
We need freedom or death. Let's censor people. Yeah. What?
Roth groans about this guy, this asshole, but still seems determined to stick at least superficially to rules, itching to act if this constitutes incitement. I mean, not. I will say this, Jack. Of all the tweets I've seen that I've told incited violence on the 6th, this one probably comes closest. It's on a line right there.
Yeah.
At 2:39 p.m., Eastern Pacific time, a comms official asked Roth to confirm or deny a story that they restricted Trump's ability to tweet. Roth says we have not. All right.
The lie detector showed.
You are the father. Whoa, ouch. I went to wipe something off my desk, Jack. It turned out to be the cherry from my cigarette that had fallen off. Ow.
Oh, that'll learn you.
It probably won't. That fucking hurt. Anyway, 60 minutes later, Roth executed the historic act of bouncing Trump, putting him in timeout. I hope you are appropriately corpsect, says a colleague. There's a Trump tweet. He says, label, please. Colin says, done. Somebody else says, it's done. And Colin says, looks like it's now bounced. So there you go. He got bounced. Which, remember, we were told is a 12-hour timeout, Jack.
Yeah.
This theme of policy, perhaps being stressed by queries from communications executives who themselves have to answer the public's questions, occasionally appears. 2 days later, you see chatter about pulling comms out of the loop. Wait. You're getting questions about this. These poor motherfuckers are the ones who have to go defend it in public. And you're like, cut them motherfuckers off. They know too much. They're even censoring their internal speech, Jack. This is what happens. Once you get a little bit of this power, there's never a back down from it. It just gets worse and worse and worse.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's that French guy. What the fuck's his name? Robespierre.
Yeah.
I'm against this. I'm against this. I mean, just one. Fuck it. Kill them all.
Yeah. Well, I'm against this until I'm in charge, and then I will handle it correctly.
Yeah. This is why you cannot. This is the importance of free speech. It's the importance of the right to bear arms. It's the importance of being secure in your person. Once you let government have that, it's not just, Jack, that you never get it back. It's that things just they take more and more and more until they control you. The founders knew this because they studied history.
Yeah. They were subjected to it many, many times.
Yes. And some of them were actually subjected. All right. We're getting questions about conspiracy theories and our enforcement process all the time, not a wait and see thing. And then Lauren Come on her says, let's talk about that, but we need to hammer that out ahead of an emergency and evolving situation. Respectfully, it needs to be your team doing so. To which Kami on says, I don't think it's wise to reach out to comm folks proactively on this. Wow. Look, I don't think we should be talking to you motherfuckers. You guys say too much, which is weird because their comms team is pretty much in lockstep with everything here. They always have been. Thank you. Understatement. This drop is particularly and ostensibly malevolent interstitial scotastic terrorism. Elon should substantively, interstitialize this ostentatious company and avoid fallacious attempts at Chevron defense and prestigitation while eating moist nuggies. You sir, are an asshole. I love you, but you're an asshole.
Well, see, if he doesn't do that, then he's probably tortiously interfering.
You know, one day we're going to be able to have chat pop up on the screen. I'll get good enough internet where I can just pop it on the screen and go, it's there, motherfucker. The first company-wide email from Vijay on January 6th announced that 3 Trump tweets had been bounced, but more importantly, signaled a determination to use legit violations as a guide for any possible permanent suspensions. Just the legit ones, Jack.
Just the legit ones. Not any of the ones they just totally made up.
Here's email from Vijay. Hi, team. An update on actions we're taking as a result of what happened in D.C. today. We have bounced 3 tweets from Donald Trump on January 6, 2020 for making unfounded claims of voter fraud and election theft. Okay. And here it comes. Which must be viewed in the context of violence in Washington, D.C. today. It's got to be viewed in that context, you see.
Well, obviously, I mean,
because without that context, there's no reason to take those tweets down. You can disagree with it. It's not illegal to have a wrong or bad opinion.
So apparently it is to them.
Even if you think that Donald Trump is wrong for saying that there was voter fraud and election theft, there's nothing illegal about him saying that. And there shouldn't be any reason not to let him say that. But no, there was violence there today. Yeah, what about all that shit in Portland?
That was righteous. We've gone over this. That was a spiritual cleansing.
Let's see.
By the righteous Antifers.
Portland, Seattle, Los Angeles, San Diego, Austin, Dallas, Louisville, Milwaukee, New York. I'm trying to think of all the cities that you and me actually watched fucking riots happen.
Oh, Eugene,
Eugene,
Oregon?
dozens and dozens. And you had Kamala Harris out there saying, you need to stay in the streets. That video's still up.
Yeah. Well, it was just a debate.
She was out there saying, this needs to happen. Don't worry about that.
Ritual by fire.
Chicago, yeah. How the fuck did I forget Chicago? DC, indeed.
Because there were like 40 of these things.
DC, where we watched them burn down or try to burn down, set fire to the church that's across the street from the White House. Saw them set fire to the guard shack at the White House.
Yeah.
Kenosha, yeah, there's a good one too.
Yeah.
Nashville, indeed. Lansing, I mean, no, wait, that was COVID and nothing bad happened. Some people yelled. That was the one that they were like, you can't let this happen. Burning down cities was fine. Anyway. And speaking of Kenosha, did you see that Kyle Rittenhouse is getting sued by the dad of the one dude that he killed?
Which one, the pedophile or the grandma beater?
I don't think it was JoJo. I think it was the grandma beater.
Fuck off. Maybe don't attack people with your skateboard.
Suing him for wrongful death. He's got it's not a GoFundMe. I forget what application it is that he's raising money on. He's trying to raise 150 grand for his legal defense.
Oh, fuck right off.
No, I mean Kyle is.
Oh, Kyle? Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
I would give him some money, but yeah, that guy could fuck right off because your kid attacked somebody.
Yep.
Screw you.
All right. What the actual fuck? Safe to say Trump's go home with love and in peace tweet mid-riot didn't go over well at Twitter headquarters. So there's his go home in peace. And then this is the response from Colin. What the actual fuck? Can this go to staff too? I'm labeling this now. Let's go back to that tweet. Here's a full tweet. These are the things and events that happen when a sacred election victory is so unceremoniously and viciously stripped away from great patriots who have been badly and unfairly treated for so long. Go home with love and peace. Remember this day forever. Yeah, and?
It's monstrous, Monkey. How can you say that? That's clearly the work of a psychopath.
I don't understand what they're pointing at. Oh my God, he said that. He told him to go home in peace.
Yeah, that's the problem, Monkey.
Roth says yes, and Colin like, sorry. I actually got emotionally angry seeing that. Emotionally angry.
As opposed to not emotional and angry?
Yeah. Unemotionally angry. Yes, it is. It's an emotion.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure after that.
To which some unnamed person said, it's gut-wrenching. He's a horrible human being. Back at you, homie. Right back at you.
Real quick. Thank you, Dark Resurrect. That lawsuit should be laughed out of the courtroom. Kyle was cleared to self-defense. Boom, lawsuit over. It should be, but we all know that's how the legal system works, is there's a lower standard in civil court, and enough people hate Kyle, depending on the venue. It's quite possible he would lose, but I don't know. I think it should be laughed out of court, especially because there's video of him being attacked by all of the people that he shot.
Yeah, being that it's civil court, and I don't know how it is there in Wisconsin, but a lot of places you don't need a unanimous verdict. So it all depends, and especially if he ends up, I mean, if he's got a jury there in Kenosha, who knows how it'll end up.
I hope he wins this, and this father fucks right off. Look, your kid did something stupid, accept that and move on. This is not Kyle's crime. This is something that was done to him, to which he responded to. You don't have to like that. Your kid was a piece of shit. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, I'm not happy your son's dead, but Kyle was defending himself. That's on your kid, man. All right. Tinfoil hats seem to work. Thank you so very much. If 2020 was a summer of love to leftists, then January 6th is my day of joy. just as descriptive, like the stream, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. A few last notes about January 6th. Roth at one point looked and found Trump had a slew of duplicate bot applications. Seeing a ton of duplicate enrollments on @RealDonaldTrump, PNG. So for the record there, that doesn't mean Trump had anything to do with it. It just means that there were bots following Trump.
Yeah, whoop de fucking do.
I wonder if he ever did that for Biden.
Look, half of Biden's subscribers are probably bots.
I feel like Matt would have told us if they had one on Biden too.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't because he's our guy. He's on our team.
By the end of the first day, the top execs are still trying to apply rules. By the next day, they will contemplate a major change in approach. Watch Schellenberger MD this weekend for the play-by-play on how that all went down. By January 8th, which is Barry Weiss, by January 8th, which Barry Weiss will describe Sunday, Twitter will be receiving plaudits from our partners in Washington. Who?
What?
Our partners in Washington.
Well, there's some third person that's going to be posting stuff. I don't remember who. He mentions it in one of the tweets early on.
No. What he just said here is that Twitter was talking about this on the 8th, about how they're getting praise from Washington, D.C.
Oh, ew.
Yeah. And the sitting U.S. president will no longer be heard on the platform. Lastly, people on the left, right, and in between want to know what else is in the Twitter files. From suppression / shadow banning of leftists to lab leak theorists or amplification of military propaganda or conservative accounts. We know everyone has questions. And while we've stumbled on tidbits here and there about topics ranging from COVID to foreign policy, the reality is the data sets are enormous and we're still working through them. More is coming. Good night. Now, if I remember correctly, there's a 68, but that goes through it. That covers all of it. There you go, guys. There's the latest dump. And this one, more than any of them, Jack, this actually has a lot of disturbing shit in it.
Yeah.
You have Twitter working with the Office of National Intelligence.
I really hope Elon has good security because there's a lot of fucking crazies out there.
And this is the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. It's not like they were just working with the Office of National Intelligence, the Director of National Intelligence. Do you think they were working with the top guys at Homeland and FBI?
Oh, I'm sure they were.
Yeah, fuck these people. Twitter was run by a bunch of shitbags, and here's what you can be assured of. The rest of social media companies are too.
Yeah.
You don't have to take my word for it. All you got to do is look at how they behave. Twitter got a lot of shit for kicking Trump off the platform.
Deservedly so.
But that's because that's where he was most of the time. If he had been on YouTube, he'd got kicked off there. My first strike, my warning strike came for you and me discussing the election. Every one of these fucking social media sites is infected with this shit. All of them. And now we know, I mean, data over there at Meta or Facebook or whatever the hell you want to call it, he told us the FBI had been calling. I wonder if DNI was involved there. I wonder what all groups were involved. And we'll never know because nobody else is going to buy one of these companies and be like, all right, here's our dirty laundry. The only reason we know this, the only reason is because Elon was like, fuck it, I'm going to buy it. That's it. And without that, all of this stays in the dark, Jack.
Yep.
It's not just legacy media. Look, guys, I know a lot of people like to say, hey, Twitter's not real life. Twitter has an impact, has a big impact. The same as CNN does and MSNBC. And you can go, wait, but no, they don't get a lot of views. When you add them all together, they do. And
Yeah.
they do help control what people think because they tell people what to think.
And they are getting a lot of their news coverage from Twitter. They
Yep.
just report on tweets all day.
How many stories do we read that's like so and so tweeted this?
Yeah, too many.
Way too many. Way too many. I should start my own news service and just do that all day long.
You probably could.
Easily. I would just need to be more dedicated. All right, Jack. I need to step away for just a moment.
Okay.
And then we're getting into Jarbo.
Oh, okay.
We're diving into Jarbo.
Ew.
Just this is ridiculous. This is absolutely a stupid ass article. But guys, I'll be right back.
What's up, sexy chat? What did Boulder Boy do now? Well, you're gonna find out shortly. We gotta have. I don't really know. This is the first I'm hearing about it, but apparently he was involved with a news article somehow, so it should be pretty ridiculous. Sup, Green Lady Gray? Has Matt changed since 2018? Not really. How's it going, creepy little book? Love your channel, dude. I don't get to watch you live much anymore, but I love when you're streaming. Megatron has abdicated the throne. Yeah, well, he didn't fall this time. He just wandered off. So Megatron had to pee. I am in command. Hey, JMK. How crazy is Matt? I don't think he's crazy. I just think he's kind of stupid. Nothing against the guy. There's lots of dumb people out there. Just, I worry he's not wearing his helmet as much as he should. Megatron found the stairs. I hope not. Megatron to the Joe Biden. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the jabroni. Matt was always a grifter. I don't know if he was a grifter. I think he's just, he's definitely a clout chaser, but he's one of those guys. And I've got a friend like this. He's not the guy, but he wants to be the guy that knows the guy. So if he can't be the man, he wants to be the man who knows the man. Like one of those entourage people. Oh, thank you, Alan, for the donation with no message. Appreciate it, man. This Matt Jarbo seems to sleep with a lot of hot, crazy women. Totally made up name, though. I think you're getting a different guy mixed up with this character because I think this guy's using a fake name, too. The Matt Jarbo, I know that bangs lots of chicks, only has one T in his name and two B's. His editing was 100% lazy? Yeah. So it's highly unsanitary? Yeah, probably. Where are they hosing him down? He's gotten fatter and 3.5 Uber rating. I haven't looked at him. I don't pay much attention to him because I have other stuff to do with my time. I've been duped. Yeah, well, you might be right. It might be the same guy. He's just carefully adjusting his name so he's harder to track down. Yeah, BG, he does have Monkey does have a habit of encountering the stairs poorly.
That's not true.
What? Oh, hi.
What? How dare you?
Megatron, you're alive.
I am indeed. All right, you ready to do this silly shit? Oh, go ahead.
Hi, Kingslayer. He just got out of night hockey. He's going to rewatch later.
Hey, Damocles. How you doing, my friend? All right. So I'm sitting there minding my business today and scrolling through Twitter, and I see Jeremy has a tweet that says, Taylor Lorenz, doesn't matter how many times you retweet this, nobody's going to read it. I'm like, well, what the hell is this? And I go look. It's an article. It's an article from Cat Tenbarge. Now, if you guys don't know, Cat Tenbarge is Taylor's mini-me. She desperately wants to be Taylor.
Why?
Because Mean Girls, man. It's the Mean Girls Club. And if you don't know Kat, what you also need to know is that she really hates Johnny Depp.
What is that? A lifestyle now?
It is.
Johnny Depp.
If you want to see something funny, just go to her Twitter and tell her that Johnny Depp did nothing wrong. She will lose her shit. It's funny as hell. Anyway, so this is Kat's article. He was canceled during the hashtag Me Too movement. Now he's using his YouTube to attack celebrity accusers. Pushback against the Me Too movement and the shifting economics on YouTube have elevated Andy Signor and other online creators to new heights. Now, I don't know if you caught that there. The shifting economics on YouTube. You want to take a guess on what she means?
The apocalypse?
In a way. All right. Yeah, Andy Signor used to work at Screen Junkies. For Andy Signor,
I had no idea who this was.
Oh, okay. She describes it here in a minute. That's the only way I knew. I know I'd heard the name before, but I didn't know why.
Yeah. It was probably in some drama videos that we watched or something.
Oh, definitely it was. For Andy Signor, the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard defamation trial was a gold mine. Another thing you need to know about Kat Tenbarge, she really blah, 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 really hates anybody who made money off of the trial.
Okay.
She despises everybody who made money off the trial.
Because she didn't, or
no? Because they're dirty people, and Amber Heard was a victim. Didn't you know that?
No, she wasn't, and I like money.
She was a victim, and Johnny Depp is bad man. And if you don't agree with that, then you're a bad man too, and you deserve to die.
I am a bad man, but I don't think I deserve to die.
Is this Rekieta related? I don't remember seeing his name in here, but it might be. And I'll be honest with you, I only wrote about half of this. Once I saw Jarbo's name, I just started looking for what he said, and it just made me laugh. Well, all right. Starting in April and spanning just a few months, Signor, 43, more than doubled the following of his YouTube channel, where he comments on news and pop culture. He has made more than 300 videos about the trial and its participants, bringing in millions of views and thousands of dollars in contributions from his fans. Did you catch that? Contributions of his fans? Changing economics on YouTube? Are you putting a picture together?
Yeah, and I don't like it.
Oh, wait till Jarbo chimes in.
For fuck's sake. Look, if you're on YouTube, you're probably trying to make money. Okay. Okay, go on. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
No, I'll just keep rambling. No.
Where are we? It's particularly impressive. It's a particularly impressive run, considering that not long ago, the YouTube-focused company Signor founded, Screen Junkies, said it had fired him, citing a variety of sexual misconduct allegations. Signor has denied the allegations. But the reputational hit also set the stage for his comeback. Well, yeah, you can't have a comeback if you haven't had a fall, right?
Theoretically. I mean, don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. Yeah, I've been here for years. Signor has capitalized on the allegations against him, emerging as one of the many popular creators on YouTube, making news-focused content, filtering through the cultural war lens. All right, I need somebody to accuse me of sexual harassment so I can get rich. I wonder what Lady Monkey's doing tomorrow. Works. That's what she's telling me.
Yeah, that's what she's saying, but she's stupid.
Look, my wife can accurately claim I have sexually harassed her many, many times. So if I have her come out and publicly say that I did that, I can have a comeback and become really rich off the next trial like this.
Can you sexually harass your wife?
Yes, I ask her.
No, I mean like legally. Is that a thing?
Ask her. Well, probably. I would imagine so. If she worked for me. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Not being married really eliminates a lot of these problems for me.
I know there are many times that she's seen my dick when she might not have wanted to.
Well, you live there, so.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games to play is to pull it out and see how long it takes her to notice I have it out.
Have you tried the does this look okay to you? and then just be there with your dick hanging out.
Yeah, there's lots of games I play with my wiener and my wife that aren't sexual in any way. It's just to make me laugh and hopefully her. By the way, she
Kids
never
listen to
laughs.
this.
She rolls her eyes most of the time. So I put that away. Anyhow, where the hell are we?
Somewhere around therapy for your daughter. I don't.
It has become lucrative endeavor thanks to a shift in how creators make money on YouTube, where donations now flow from an audience skeptical of the hashtag #MeToo movement. For those of you who don't understand what's going on here, Kat is trying to add Apocalypse the super chat. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, real quick. Thank you, Dark Resurrect. Mr. Jack, I would like to formally report that Ranting Monkey touched my no-nos. P.S. I got you, Monkey. I'll take a cut of 5%. Well, thank you, Dark.
That was very nice of you to offer, but everybody knows my wife won't let me date, so I don't even look at other people. Thank you, John Migda, who says, Monk, no touched me. I did not. Got to be careful requesting people saying that I touched them because they do it.
I tried to warn you, and it was...
That's all right.
That.
Don't worry, guys. My wife's got this for me. My wife's got it. I appreciate the offers, though.
We'll keep you on standby. Stand back and stand by, John and Dark.
That's right.
Thanks, guys.
That's right.
You're our backup plan.
Signor's new channel, Popcorn Planet, now has more than 675,000 subscribers who watch his. I wonder how many more he got because of this article.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that was a feminist donation. Thanks, dude.
Oh, sweet. Will somebody look up and see how many subscribers Popcorn Planet has right now?
That sounds like work, and you don't pay me.
Anyway, 675,000 subscribers who watch his videos and live streams about daily news and pop culture justice. Signor covers what he characterized as the injustice of the Me Too movement. And stop putting the pound there. Just that just looks like pound Me Too. You would think they would have got that by now.
No, because they're dumb and they fell for the milk as a thing of white supremacy and the okay sign.
And the
you
okay
really think
sign.
they're gonna figure this one out?
Probably not. So he's picked up. He's lost some subscribers. Jennifer says 647,000. Oh, maybe he was really. How close is he to 675?
I don't know.
It's Cat. Maybe nobody read this shit.
674 is still really good.
I'm probably I was just wondering if she got him any subscribers, but I might be the only person who read this article. Me and Matt, because Matt printed this out and put it on his fridge. I'm convinced.
It's framed. You know, his wife magneted to the fridge.
Anyway, the Me Too movement and criticism he and other men who have been accused of various forms of sexual misconduct have faced in the past 5 years. It's a shift that other creators have made as well, capitalizing on the broader pushback against social justice movements. Yeah, that hasn't been going on for at least 8 years here on YouTube. Some of Signor's newer content takes aim at the people he said contributed to the allegations against him and their aftermath. Signor has also cultivated a fan base that includes people who identify as survivors of sexual assault and domestic violence who don't believe Heard's allegations against Depp. See how it always comes back to Heard and Depp?
Yeah.
Kat might need some therapy.
A little bit.
Some of them have donated to Signor, noting their histories of having been abused in comments. Those bitches. You know what I mean? You bitches know what I mean. Where are we? But Signor's recent success has been difficult for some of the people who worked with him at Screen Junkies or who have appeared on YouTube with him and see him as profiting off his own alleged misbehavior.
Is he advertising his misbehavior? Is that
alleged misbehavior? There's no proof this happened.
Yeah, if there's no proof, then
I mean,
if
it's
nobody
possible.
can produce some evidence. You know, did anybody report him to the cops? Is there an HR report? Is there anything here?
It's a really good question and one we don't get an answer to, unfortunately.
Well, that's stupid then. It sounds like defamation.
Well, again, this is Taylor's mini me, so
Yeah, well, I'm surprised some of these people are not getting sued way more often than they do.
he makes money off victims and says he is one, said Ray, who has appeared in live streams with motherfucker, who has appeared in live streams on YouTube with Signor and who asked that her last name be withheld to protect her privacy. People believe him blindly. I mean, I guess if you're a YouTuber, you can give out your first name, but usually you'd give their handle, right?
Usually,
I don't know. On November 13th, Ray hosted a live stream on her channel that included a new accusation that Signor sent an unsolicited nude of himself masturbating to a woman in November 2021.
gross, but prove it. Do you still have the video?
Well, I mean, all right, Jack. I'm going to use myself as an example again.
Uh-oh.
I have sent an unsolicited nude to my wife.
Yeah, that's your wife, though.
It's still an unsolicited nude. That's why I don't like shit like this. If they were in some kind of relationship where, that was an expected thing, like a romantic relationship, then it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But look, I don't know the accusations. I'm not defending this guy. I'm just talking about the way it's described. Anyway, in response to a series of emailed questions, Signor said NBC News was, quote, sensationalizing a private relationship between consenting adults, end quote. Wait a minute. That kind of sounds like what I was just talking about.
Huh. Weird.
Interesting. He didn't provide specific responses to other questions about his YouTube operation. I hope he said, go fuck yourself. And I think newspapers, they need to start being honest because I know this happens a lot when they go, I know. But when they do bother to actually ask for a compliment, a comment, people tell them to go fuck themselves. And they need to include that in the story.
Yeah.
As for he said, go F***CK yourself.
Well, that would just be good reporting right there.
And it might give the reader a reason to go like, wait. Why would he be talking like this to them? That seems aggressively angry for talking to reporters.
Yeah, and then you need a follow-up. Did they, in fact, go fuck themselves?
I think most of them should, just to be fair to the person that they were asking questions
I
about.
think they need it sexually because some of these people are very pent up.
I don't know if you've ever seen Kat. She definitely looks like she could. I don't know what her girlfriend or her wife, whatever it is, does, but she needs to get in there a little bit more.
I have never seen Kat. I just imagine she's probably fairly fat.
You're not wrong. Signor's evolution reflects an ongoing pushback against the Me Too movement, as well as the shifting economics on YouTube, which combined with notice she didn't mention how the other chick got any donations. That Ray chick.
Well, that's just women being oppressed, clearly.
The shifting economics on YouTube, which combined with the attention around the Depp Heard trial to elevate Signor and other creators to new heights. A Pew Research study last year found that people ages 18 to 49 were far more likely to say they regularly consume news through social media than people ages 50 and up, with YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok all among the most popular platforms. Well, this is one of those things. This is another, that's kind of dirty. A lot of the people who consume their news that way, like say YouTube, they go to CNN on YouTube. It's always to make it sound like it's just nut bars in their underwear in their basement.
Yeah, if I was in my basement, I'd be banging one of my Asians. These people are disgusting.
On those platforms, a new crop of social media commenters like Signor has emerged, often putting particular spins or slants on the topics they choose to cover. You hypocrite. And those topics often tend to skew towards cultural war issues, particularly when they feature major celebrities, while echoing a growing distrust of mainstream media. Yeah, of course. There's this weird kind of inversion that has been happening where individual people seem more trustworthy than the system, said Emily Dreyfus, a senior editor and fellow on technology and social change project at Harvard University's Shorenstein Center. Why
That
do I
sounds like a
care?
made-up job. Like, all
It
right, we
is.
got to give this bitch an internship.
The Depp Heard trial. Man, this bitch cannot get away from it.
No, it's their Gamergate for the entertainment world.
In all seriousness, there's a lot of people who still cling on to the Depp Heard thing. This woman might actually need psychological help.
Taylor Lorenz's friend might need help.
She goes to Matt Jarbo as a source, for fuck's sake.
Well, desperate times, all that.
I wonder, because I can't see my cousin, he lets me look at his Twitter from time to time. I can't see what she says because she blocked him.
I wonder if I'm blacked. Hold on.
She blocked him because he said something about the Johnny Depp trial.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, and she blocked him for it. But anyway, I wonder if she put out a thing like, hey, have you been on YouTube and seen how the monetization works? If so, DM me. By the way, I want to put this out there. Just one person, not a whole bunch of people. I think it would be wonderful if one person sent her the video of Matt with his teddy bear and the word of the day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. We would have to designate one person to do it so not everybody thinks I'm that one person.
Yeah, so if you have a clip of that video, throw it in the chat and we'll pick somebody. Just one, because I think she should see that. Now, if everybody would like to like that tweet, that'd be awesome. Anyway, where are we at here? The Depp Heard trial. This bitch in the Depp Heard trial proved a pivotal point for those creators, alongside Signor and many others, including creators with legal backgrounds, who provided legal commentary, got levels of attention they hadn't seen before on their YouTube channels. Well, that's true. I mean, that part's fair.
I guess. Hey, do you know who's not blocked by this chick?
Who?
Me!
Nice. You should check out her Instagram.
I don't know if I want to.
There's nothing horrible there. I mean, it's not like you're going there to look for an attractive girl. You're just going to see. It's not like you see. Well, maybe you do see her in a bathing suit. I can't remember.
No, not taking that chance.
But you can see her in her little profile picture there.
Yeah, she looks a little bouncy. I don't know.
Let Frosted Glass do it. Is Frosted here? I don't remember seeing him yet or recently.
I haven't been able to pull up chat without making everything stutter horribly. So, sorry, guys. Not real good at this today.
Hey, Zan said, hi, y'all, running back to the beginning. Enjoy. We've had some fun tonight.
Yeah, hey, Zan.
There's this weird kind of... Oh, we did that one. Oh, yeah. We got great people, man. How many people are watching? I'm not watching YouTube. Oh, wow, 225. Damn.
Nice.
And we got 38 over on the Rumble. Damn. Hi, guys. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to hit those like buttons, y'all. And donate if you can. We like that. Ready for it, Jack? La, 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 la. The Ohio serial ugly banger, Matt Jarbo, a full-time YouTube creator, said the origins of Signor's and similar creators' new style of content traces to around 2017 and the so-called YouTube adpocalypse. In response to advertisers' concerns about ads appearing on racist, anti-Semitic videos, YouTube gave advertisers more tools to limit what creators could make money from their ads, including allowing advertisers to opt out of ads on content about tragedy and conflict or sensitive social issues, Matt said. You need to put that in there. The restructuring of YouTube's advertising tools reined in revenue for many small creators, including those whose content wasn't racist or anti-Semitic in the first place. That is fair. He didn't say that. She added that.
Yeah.
There were a whole lot of us who got hit with that shit, and we weren't doing anything wrong. At around the same time, YouTube introduced Super Chats, a tipping option within the platform's chat rooms for viewers to pay creators directly during live streams. That pushed Jarbo and other creators in a new direction. Catch this? That pushed Jarbo in a new direction.
Not the fact that he was getting dogpiled by randos because he was a complete jackass to people that were mean to him.
That pushed Jarbo and other creators in a new direction, appealing directly to already polarized audiences for tips, he said. This is him talking. They made everybody go, how can I become more hyperbolic when I stream? How can I make more money that way? Jarbo said. It's been a nightmare ever since. What?
He didn't mention the fact that he was striking people's channels because they were critical of him. Not even necessarily mean. Some of them were total douchebags. Some of them weren't.
He doesn't mention that he was deeply involved in Gamergate, which predates the adpocalypse by about 4 fucking years.
Yeah, well, why would he mention that? It'd make him look bad to her.
And he was making his hyperbolic videos to get ads because back then it was how many people saw it rather than how many people would donate.
Yeah.
Dirty little bitch.
Yeah, I was making enough money off my laundry videos to do my laundry. It's a perpetuating cycle. It was great.
And he's trying to pretend. Look, the only reason I was kind of forced into it because I needed to make that. So you're a whore. All right.
Well, I mean, we already knew that based on how easy he is. He gets around.
Jarbo said that he and other creators pivoted to reactionary content that fell into an anti-SJW or anti-social justice warrior category. He was part of Gamergate.
Is he trying to say that people forced him into that?
Yes.
I was just pushed in, man. They were just lumping me in.
No, he is saying that he had to do it to make money. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to.
Literally, my laundry made money.
The only way I could do it is if I became this hyperbolic bastard that pretended to hate social justice. Now, I am not saying there are not people out there who saw the money that could be made and went into that. But that money was before Super Chat.
Yeah, that was ad revenue money. Super Chat didn't come about till what, after Gamergate?
Gamergate's about 2014. Super Chat comes out. I think it had to be mid 2017, late 2017. Maybe it was earlier. It was in 2017. The point being, he was already on the SJW train, and you will notice if you go back to 2017, at the end of 2016, as the election is going on, there are a ton of anti-SJW channels, tons of them everywhere. You want to know why? They were lucrative. You could make good money. I'll just be straight with you. My first YouTube check was just over $900. That was for 1 month. And I think I had like maybe a combined 100,000 views, maybe. There was shit tons of money to be made here.
Yeah.
And then the adpocalypse comes. And that shit got cut right out. That shit got cut so hard the next month I didn't even qualify for a check. And all you have to qualify is $100.
Yeah. I was getting checks based off just my laundry videos and the handful of views that I got on my 40 and stuff. And that was making me money. And then after the apocalypse, neither of those channels qualified at all. So I would get nothing from them. And now,
go ahead.
Now I had to fight to get 2 channels monetized.
Bubba tells us it started in January of 2017. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Thank you. The same year, Screen Junkies, the viral video media company Signor created, said that it had fired him, citing egregious and intolerable behavior after multiple people came forward on social media claiming that Signor made unwanted romantic and sexual advances towards them. That's his crime. He tried to hit on women. Now, look, I'm not saying he didn't do it in a horrible way. I wasn't there. But this is one of the most absurd accusations, I guess is the word. The most absurd, hey, this is what the guy did to me. Unwanted sexual advancement. He asked you to have sex and you said no, and that was the end of it. All right, move on with your fucking life. Grow up.
Isn't that called flirting?
Do you realize how infantilizing this is of women? Oh, you asked me out on a date, because remember, it's not just sexual advances, it's romantic as well. He tried to be romantic with me and I didn't want it. It's because he's fat and ugly, right? Because if he was cute, you'd be like, you're so funny. Anyway, I hate that. I really do. Look, if they're doing like egregious stuff, like egregious, define it for me. Define it. Some people accuse Signor of messaging them as fans, then asking them for sexy photos or to meet up in person. Oh, that bastard.
Oh, son of a bitch.
By the way, if you hit me up in DMs, I'm never going to be sexual with you because I don't care. I'm not that impressed with pussy, Jack.
No, that's why my DMs are closed, because I got tired of people sending me nudes.
Dude, I am 47. I've been slamming ham for 33 years. You're not going to impress me with your twat. You're just not.
Yeah, look, and then you get all upset when you're like, oh, you're unattractive and you have a weird vagina.
Yeah, like why?
My feelings, blah, blah, blah.
Why is that one lip 3 inches longer than the other one? Put that away. A person who accused Signor of sexual harassment said they were working unpaid for Signor when he told them he had masturbated to their photo and asked whether he could masturbate to them in person. The accuser identifies as gender non-binary. Shocking. And uses they, them pronouns. A woman accused him of sexual misconduct, said he tried to force her to use sex toys with him during sex, took photos of her without her consent, and offered her a position at Screen Junkies in exchange for sexual favors. After he was fired, Signor acknowledged that he had flirted with fans and cheated on his ex-wife, but he denied other allegations, including the allegations of sexual harassment and the allegations of sexual misconduct.
Yeah, he sounds like a real dirtbag. That doesn't mean he's like a rapist or anything.
No, it sounds like hey, I'm in charge. These people are responding. This actually happens to a lot of creators, is why I always tell you, do not fuck your fans. It never ends well. And I know there's a couple of examples out there, but forever isn't over yet. I wish them the best, but forever's not over. You know what I mean? It's hang on. I gotta. Somebody wants me to see their nudes there. I don't care. That's probably a dude.
Here you go there, and it's the website for feminine penis or something.
Right? Anyway, it was at the time a precipitous fall for a person who had found success during an early and lucrative era of YouTube. In 2007, Signor accepted a golden popcorn statue for his best movie spoof on stage at the MTV Movie Awards. In 2016, he worked with Ryan Reynolds on a Deadpool parody for Honest Trailers, the flagship series of Screen Junkies. Weeks before the company said he was fired, CNBC reported that Signor had brought in millions of dollars by lovingly poking fun at Hollywood. Yeah, Screen Junkies makes a lot of money, or at least it used to. I don't know how it does now. But between Honest Trailers and Honest Trailers was the only thing I watched over there till I learned about Pitch Meeting.
Yeah, Pitch Meeting's way funnier.
Matt Christensen's wife was a fan at one point. Look, I wish Matt all the best. I really do. And I hope it works out. I'm going with experience, though. 99.999% of the time, if you put your wiener or try to put your wiener in one of your fans, you're going to end up in a drama video.
Yeah, that's some life ruination shit.
Yep.
No offense, fans, but you're not Asian enough.
I don't understand why people put themselves in that position. I mean, to a point I do, because a lot of YouTubers are introverts by nature and they're not really all that outgoing and don't have access to anybody else. And then they become a little bit famous. And you have women being like, "You want to see my pussy?" Like, no, not when you sound like that. But you get what I'm talking about, right? I mean, you go from being this nerd to suddenly being popular can be overwhelming. Might get a little bit too up your own ass. Anyway, and this guy of all people, I mean, look at him. This dude became rich and famous. That dude, if he doesn't get rich and famous, he's marrying a fat chick from Walmart. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I can't see him real well, but he doesn't look like he's super smart or dresses himself. So he's kind of got that like slack jaw look.
He's like 20 something with dad bod.
Yeah, you're a bit young for that. You got to at least cross the 40 Rubicon before you can let yourself go that bad.
Jarbo said see, we're back to Matt.
Ugh.
Yep, man. Matt's not gone yet. She spent quite a bit of time with Matt for this.
Why? Oh my God, that's horrifying.
Because she's an idiot.
Fair enough.
Because she's an idiot and she's trying to write horrible about this guy while attacking anybody who supported Johnny Depp and trying to suggest that YouTube needs to do something to punish those of us who think Amber Heard was a lying whore.
Well, she kind of was. It was kind of.
Oh, yeah. There's literal proof that she's a liar.
Yeah. And can't cry on cue.
No, she can't cry worth a shit.
You're just a bad actress at that point.
She can make the facial features. She just can't get the tears.
Yeah, it's like watching an alien do it.
That was one of my favorite things about the Depp trial. People trying to explain, no, it's perfectly normal to cry without tears. Not unless you're dehydrated. If you're dehydrated, Jack, you can't cry without tears. And there's also a medical condition that makes it happen. But otherwise, there should be tears. Anyway.
Should be, but you know how this works.
Yeah. Jarbo said he and Signor met around late 2018 through a mutual friend in an informal community of creators who have all faced backlash.
All right, I'm picturing a white room with a black leather sofa.
And they're all in there going, it was some Puerto Rican guy.
Yeah. Like it was an informal meeting. All right, for this scene, I'm going to need you to take your top off. Matt's like, okay.
Jarbo, who said some of his own controversies stem from his involvement in Gamergate, a historic harassment campaign against women online, said Signor started, quote, meeting other canceled people as he rebuilt his YouTube career. So she brings in the Gamergate, but remember, she doesn't mention it anywhere about how Matt got famous for being one of the people she would hate.
Yeah, like he was one of the big names in Gamergate.
Yeah, thanks, Medicare.
Trickster God, dude, I'm telling you.
Son of a bitch. Where are we? He was doing a Rebound press tour. Wait a minute. You met him informally at a meeting of canceled people.
Yeah.
How did you end up at a press tour? Anyway, doing a Rebound press tour saying, I didn't assault this woman. Here's the proof of that, Jarbo said. The evidence Signor presented in a YouTube video, was a series of previously unpublished communications he alleged were between him and his sexual misconduct accuser that implied a consensual sexual relationship had taken place. The woman who accused him responded at the time with a statement that her allegations still stand. She didn't respond to a request for comment. All right, let's talk about this part for just a moment. She claims that he sexually harassed her. He brings up video proof, Jack, saying, look, we were in a relationship. And she's like, nah, it still stands, but I ain't going to talk to you. All right. Give me a 1 if you believe her. Give me a 2 if you believe him. Give me a 3 if you're like, I don't know. Those are your choices. 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no doubt. Remember, this is a person who then became non-binary and is a they, them. It's a 2. I believe him, at least in that case.
Yeah. Only because how many of those they them weirdos have we seen?
Um, where are we at here? Several of you saying don't care. Uh, I do. I care about people being wrongfully accused.
Yeah, look,
So
this guy might be a complete dickbag who's plowing his fans, but
that's different than sexually assaulting people.
yeah, it's much different.
This comes back to I mean, we've seen other people who've been accused of this, or like, well, you had power because you had fame. Some of the Marilyn Manson stuff is that.
Yeah.
Bullshit. You were a grown-ass adult who agreed to it. Fuck you. You're trying to ruin a man's life over regret. Fuck you. Anyhow, I need to start my own series on that, Jack, so I can become rich and famous like this guy.
Yeah.
And then I can plow my fans. I'm not gonna, but I could. Be like, yeah, take it, bitch. I jacked off on your picture. Who does that?
I don't know. That's weird.
I beat off to your picture. See, this is why we need to get more interaction between kids, because they're just so awkward these days. That's not the kind of thing you just say to a woman. Gentlemen, I'm going to help you out here. 99% of women do not want to hear that you beat off to their picture.
No, that's super weird.
Yeah. Just keep that to yourself. You can say, I was looking at your picture. I thought you looked so beautiful. There you go. I couldn't wait to see your face in person, and damn, that picture doesn't do you any justice. You are so beautiful.
Would you do me a favor and look to the side, smile slightly, and let me finish?
Hang on a minute. Yeah. Jesus Christ, man. How awkward are you that you're telling a woman that you beat off to her picture? Now, I don't know if that's true. That's an accusation, but I kind of hope it's true.
Well, I mean, these days it won't surprise me.
I really hope it's true, just because it's funnier that way. I still don't think that's sexual harassment. It's just weird.
Yeah, it's degenerate, but harassment? I don't know about that.
Signor returned to YouTube in 2018 on his personal channel, Popcorn Planet, and his content started out positive and film focused, like setting up screenings at movie theaters in Tampa, Florida, to interview audience members, but the videos got fewer than 10,000 views. He quickly pivoted, pushing back against mainstream media cancel culture and some Me Too accusers. He cited examples of progressive criticism aimed at popular celebrities and franchises, and he repeatedly took aim at some celebrity accusers and news outlets like BuzzFeed News. So, yeah, mostly anti-SJW stuff in the newer, the anti-woke stuff these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Signor, which, by the way, sweetheart, that stuff has never left. It just, some of the most popular people dropped out because they were grifting shitbags. Throwing that out there. Signor also tapped into a trend of providing minute-by-minute commentary about major pop culture and true crime news stories, often making dozens of videos on particular topics. One was about the disappearance of Gabby Petito, who was found dead last year after weeks of searching. Signor made more than 80 videos about Petito in just 2 months. Yeah, he was working the algorithm.
Yeah, I did one stream.
We talked about it some on here like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, but we talk about all the news that that like piques our interest.
We're doing the wrong stuff, man.
Apparently.
I'm going to make a Gabby Petito video tomorrow.
Yeah, well,
nope.
That lawsuit's still going on, so you
I'm
probably
going to I'll make 65 of them.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. He dove into the Petito thing until it was like overkill, Jarbo said. Anything he can latch onto, he's boosted his account now. Really, Matt?
Matt, who made like 3 to 4 videos a day on just reading the news and not really commenting on it.
Now, look, I can't think of anything where Matt did the same thing 80 times in a month or 2 months. Fair enough. But playing the algorithm, don't tell me you didn't do that.
Yeah, that's kind of the game you play.
It's the reason you were releasing 3 videos a day.
Yeah, it hit the algorithm right.
The videos in which Signor largely focused on news coverage of Petito's presumed killer Brian Laundrie, and his family brought in hundreds of thousands of views and paved the way for what was to come with his nonstop coverage of the Depp Heard trial. It's always the Depp Heard trial with this bitch.
Yeah.
Always. The same year, Signor met Jarbo and began making videos challenging the allegations against him. The backlash against Heard started to build and coalesce into a social media movement seeking justice for Johnny.
Oh my God, let it go, weirdo.
Depp accused Heard, who wrote a 2018 op-ed in the Washington Post about becoming a public figure representing domestic abuse during the Me Too, of lying about having experienced abuse to harm Depp's reputation. By the way, sweetheart, that should have been 2 sentences. You don't drop that major line in the middle there. In the trial, which concluded this year, a Virginia jury sided with Depp, awarding him $15 million in damage. The jury also awarded Heard $2 million in her countersuit. Which, again, remember, that wasn't for anything Johnny said. That was for something his lawyer said. Johnny got sued for what his lawyer said. Because they're like, well, he was speaking on your behalf, so you're the one who has to pay.
That's dumb.
It's true, though. That's what happened.
Yeah, it's still stupid.
I don't think she says any more about Jarbo in this. I just thought it was great that Jarbo was her fucking source on this. Like, Jarbo in there trying to pretend that somebody else working the algorithm is bad. And I don't remember if I read it or not, but there's one part where it says he regrets how he used to be. Fuck you. Yeah, you regret it because you're driving Uber now and you threw away a career that you could have had by being a shitbag to the people you knew, by being a thin-skinned twat.
Oh no, he's still on YouTube.
Barely.
No, he's got that true crime channel. He does a lot on. He does a lot of shorts.
Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, short sounds like something he would do.
Yeah, forget the name of it.
Since the shorts thing has come out, I'll be honest. There's a lot of channels that have gotten a little more traction that I'd stop paying attention to. Jarbo's one of them, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But remember, he tried to do his true crime on his main channel, and he ended up deleting all of it.
Yeah.
And then he tried doing it again. I don't remember if he got rid of it the second time.
I think he did because he switched the format up quite a bit.
Yeah, this is a guy who people would talk about him in streams, and suddenly the streams would go down, and he's like, it's not me doing it. It's somebody who's making it look like me. And who had been publicly for free speech, and it turned out, yeah, he was the one turning these guys in.
Yeah, older boys made me do it.
Oh, yeah. It was the algorithm. It was Super Chat that made me do it. It has the fucking nerd be like, yeah, Super Chat's what made us all do that. Well, some of you, yeah, because you're grifting shitheads, but that was pre-Super Chat. You lying prick. And unfortunately for Kat, this didn't catch on the same way that article in the the Wall Street Journal. That's the one. The Wall Street Journal that did lead to the adpocalypse. But this is Kat at least trying to kick it off. This is, look, they're getting money and it's making them be bad people. Kat, shut up. Go eat another donut and cry about Amber Heard's lying ass losing the lawsuit. Seriously, if you guys want to see some insane shit, check out Kat Tenbarge over there on Twitter and just scroll through her timeline until you find one of her long screeds. They are almost always about Johnny Depp. It's funny, Jack. It makes me laugh. I know it's wrong because I'm laughing at a disabled person.
Well, mentally,
But it's like watching a midget run. I can't help it. Jarbo was driven insane with anger that he wasn't being treated like the next Kevin Smith. I don't even know what really set Jarbo off.
I think you might be onto something there, Midnight, because he does have this like snotty mentality when it comes to movies.
Yes, he does.
He always seems to think that like, oh, I worked in the industry, I know more than you. And I was like, your takes are lame and boring, dude. Shush.
He was hired for security at a premiere one time. Look, I don't know what he actually did in the industry, but you're right. That's how he comes off, as though he's a famous director who did shit.
Yeah.
But he was going along fine. You know what? You know what really happened to him? His dumbass decided to try to jump into blood sports. That's where everything went wrong for him.
That really didn't help because he can't take it.
Nope. And because of it, and because of his history, because there is a lot of stuff known about this guy. If you've never seen the Medicare video on him, I learned a lot of shit in that one. But people started digging. And that's what blood sports was. People trying to destroy each other.
Yeah, I
Good
never
job.
got that. It just seemed like a lazy waste of time. Like, I don't want to argue with people that much. I have other things to do.
It worked for people for a little bit, but
yeah,
it was
but then
destined.
you run out of people.
Yeah, it was destined to fail because they were going to turn on each other. And apparently a lot of them have really big skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, and also big egos.
Yeah.
And it'd be one thing if it was like fun sparring, but it wasn't. They got real personal. They
Yep.
dumped out all their dirty laundry. And if I want to watch somebody dump out their purse, it's going to be an ex-girlfriend. Because you kind of have to listen to that shit.
Jarbo did a stream where he said he hoped Kevin Smith would play him in the Gamergate movie. Sounds right. His channel was dead beforehand, but he changed nothing, then jumped into... His channel was dead by the standard of when he was in Gamergate, but that's because Gamergate dropped off and he was never a very good commentator. He was so milquetoast. I hate to keep using that word lately, but he really was. There was nothing hot about any of his takes, and he wasn't particularly funny, but he still had a loyal audience who was showing up night after night after night and watching his videos. And then he gets into the blood sports thing, and that's when he loses his shit and starts just reporting everybody, which comes out on the Ralph stream that one night. And at that point, there was no saving him. God, Jack, what was it? 2 years later, we would check videos and they were still getting massively downvoted.
Yeah. Yeah. The comments were horrific.
Yeah.
But that's
the
what
hate there was long lasting.
Yeah. I don't get that. Like, if you don't like someone, don't talk to them. You don't have to flag their stuff. It's just going to come back and get you. Karma's a real bitch.
Jarbo attacked anyone who didn't kiss his ass all the time. Yeah, and I don't understand that. I mean, especially if you're getting into blood sports, man, you got to do that with fun in mind. You got to do that with gym in mind, and there's just only one gym is the problem. And if you can't take it and you're too thin-skinned, stay out of it. But yeah, that's what ruined. Notice that didn't come up in that article.
Yeah.
What caused your downfall? Whoopsie. Anyway, guys, we're going to wrap up here with the 3-hour mark, Jack. I'm starting to get tired, which sucks because I'm going to do a game stream. I keep getting tired around this time.
Yeah, it's almost like you're supposed to be in bed or something.
Yeah, but I've only been up since like noon.
Well, that was like 13 hours ago.
Yeah, I suppose. But humans are normally awake about 16 hours.
I don't know what normal humans do.
It's about 8 hours of sleep. That would leave 16 hours for the day. I shouldn't be tired yet after 13 hours. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for the donations. Cat 10 Bar just trying to take those away, apparently. And fuck you, Cat. I really do love that all these reporters hate that YouTubers and Twitter and Substack get far more views than they do.
Well, maybe they shouldn't be jerks.
Maybe they should do a better job.
Well, look, let's not get carried away.
You can be a complete asshole as long as you do a good job when you're doing your stuff. There's tons of assholes who do it in streaming. Hell, the biggest streamer, as far as I know, over on Twitch right now, huge asshole. All he basically does is scream.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
Kids find it funny. Kids think screaming is edgy. It comes from Dane Cook. He's the... Tom Green started it. The Jackass Boys made it worse. And then Dane Cook came along. And comedy was just destroyed. Just scream and Say something offensive. Ha ha ha. It's not funny. Shut up. Anyway, thank you for the donations. I really, really do appreciate it. You guys are fucking awesome to us. And I know Biden has made this year really tough, and it's holiday time. We understand it, but we really, really, really appreciate all you do for us. Jack, anything you want to chill out?
I'll drop some links to some cool videos, but like Monkey said, the donations are very, very helpful. Thank you guys. And thanks for coming out and watching. Because this was funny. A lot of crazy stuff going on.
Man, between the Twitter files and Jarbo, fuck. Oh, what a night. I can't believe I almost forgot that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out. I'll be over on twitch.tv/rantingmonkey here in just a little bit. That is twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. No spaces, but plenty of me. Yeah. Bro, that sounds like Kinnison. Kinnison actually told jokes between screaming.
Yeah.
Like, Kinnison actually, a lot of his funnier stuff wasn't when he was screaming. Dane Cook thought screaming was a punchline. It's like he'd watched Kinnison and noticed that people would laugh at some of the screaming. You're like, well, I guess screaming is what's funny. Like, no, there's a whole bunch of jokes in there. Anyway.
Yeah, he'd also speak gibberish sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, he was drunk a lot of the time and high as a kite. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a good night. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Don't fuck your fans. I don't care how hot she is. You're gonna get a disease and exposed. That doesn't rhyme, but it's true.